Unfortunately, the art of silence has been lost in our busy world, where noise and talk are always present. But what if the times we choose not to speak were just as strong as the times we do? How often do we stop and think about what our quiet means? Stoicism is an old theory that teaches people how to control themselves through reason and emotional strength. It's a great way to learn when not to speak. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, said, "It's better to trip with the feet than with the tongue." This wise saying brings up a basic question. How many times have we felt bad about saying something in a hurry or out of anger? Stoicism doesn't just tell us not to do things. We owe it to ourselves to use silence as a tool for growth and peace. Imagine facing life's challenges with the calm confidence that your silence speaks louder than any words could ever hope to. Stoic philosophy teaches that silence isn't just the absence of speech, but a deeply felt response that has been carefully chosen. It is an active, powerful force, a plan that can help ease disagreements, protect us from harm and help us understand. But when exactly should we embrace silence together? We'll find out in 9 key times that choosing silence is not only smart, but also life-changing as we go deeper into these lessons. Think about how practicing Stoic silence might change the way you deal with others and your own peace of mind. What if you could end a heated fight with a calm, measured silence instead of harsh words? What might a quiet pause help you say about your feelings and thoughts? Come with us as we dig up the strong times to shut up and let the knowledge of Stoicism guide us. Are you ready to learn more about the deep knowledge of Stoicism? Please leave a word before you start your journey. Number 1. When being criticized unfairly. According to the Stoic philosophy, being unfairly criticized is a unique chance to become stronger and show integrity. The main ideas behind this old knowledge. The ruler Marcus Aurelius once said that if something outside of you bothers you, it's not the thing itself that's hurting you, but how you think about it. He also said that you can change how you think about something at any time. Insight says that what bothers us about criticism is not the criticism itself, but how we see and respond to it. Think about this. How might changing how you see criticism make you stronger? Can you think of a time when staying calm in the face of unfair criticism changed the outcome? For example, if you are leading a project at work and your boss criticizes it harshly, a Stoic response would be to calmly look at the feedback and find useful insights while ignoring any negative information that isn't based on facts. Number 2. Stoic silence in the middle of boasts. Imagine you're at a networking event where a co-worker is bragging too much about their recent raises and fancy lifestyle. You might want to counter their bravado with your own accomplishments. Stoicism teaches us the power of restraint. If you choose quiet, you keep your cool and let other people's words show you who they are. This way, you can save your energy for deeper conversations. This method not only protects your honor, but it also makes you look like someone who is sure of their own achievements and doesn't need outside approval. In this theory, silence is not a sign of passivity. Instead, it is a sign of strategic silence that shows knowledge and confidence. Another wise Stoic says, "He who does not wish to be outnumbered by greater benefits should not return one benefit with another, he should return many at once." In real life, this means that you should not respond to empty boasts with words, but with the quiet grace of your actions and the quality of your character. How often do you find yourself responding to someone else's success story with one of your own? What might happen if you instead chose to listen, fully acknowledging their accomplishments with a nod or a smile, while keeping your attention on your own virtues and goals? Accepting Stoic quiet in the middle of boasts is a way to live a life not marked by competition, but by happiness and inner success. It creates an atmosphere where one can thrive peacefully and successfully based on genuine self-worth rather than comparative measures. Please think about this lesson and use what you've learned in your daily life. How could accepting quiet make your life and relationships better? Please write about your ideas and stories in the space below. Let's work together to make each other's lives more peaceful, happy, and successful. Number 3. When dealing with anger. When we're angry, it can feel like a wild storm that can sweep away all reason and calm. But in the middle of this storm, Stoic philosophy offers a safe place to be, a moment of silence that helps us deal with these strong feelings. Epicurus, a famous Stoic figure, said to keep quiet most of the time and only speak when you have to. Now imagine a day at work when a co-worker's mistake causes you hours of extra work. Your first instinct might be to lash out in anger, but what would happen if you chose silence instead? By not reacting in anger, you give yourself time to think about the situation more objectively. This pause can stop the conflict from getting worse and lead to constructive solutions instead of heated arguments. Think about it. How often has reacting quickly in anger made you think about what could be different if you took a moment to calm down before speaking? Marcus Aurelius, another well-known Stoic, gives advice in his writings. How much worse are the results of anger than the things that make people angry? This thought makes us think about what happens after we get angry. Most of the time, the effects of an angry outburst are worse than the thing that made us angry in the first place. Think about Nelson Mandela, a famous leader who, even though he had been jailed for years, decided to forgive his abusers instead of getting angry. This decision not only improved his own life, but also led a country to reconciliation. For example, using silence when you're angry doesn't mean hiding your feelings. It means choosing a response that is in line with your best self. This practice not only improves your own peace, but it also leads to better relationships and a more successful life. As you deal with the inevitable frustrations of daily life, remember that silence can be your sanctuary, a place where wisdom rules. Adopt it, and you may find that the quiet response is not only the most profound, but also the most powerful. Anger is a normal feeling that everyone has at some point in their lives. On the other hand, anger that isn't under control can hurt relationships and your own health. Number 4, silence in the middle of false rumors. When people talk to each other, stories are like leaves caught in a gust of wind. When these rumors aren't true, they can cause harm and confusion. Stoic philosophy gives us a strong answer. Quiet. Think about the story of a teacher in a small town who was wrongly accused of misconduct. As rumors spread through the community, the teacher chose not to add to the heat by denying or explaining what happened. Instead, she relied on her honesty and integrity to stand firm. Number 5. How to deal with loss. How do you deal with the utter silence that follows a major loss? Loss is a common human experience that often leaves a void filled with sadness and confusion. But Stoicism has a unique way of dealing with pain. For example, C.S. Lewis, a famous author who wrote about his grief after losing his wife in the book A Grief Observed, says, "The pain I feel now is the happiness I had before." This is a very Stoic way of thinking. Stoics believe that our experiences are part of a bigger natural flow of life, and that loss and love will always go hand in hand. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, has a lot to say about this subject. The day we worry will be our last is actually the birthday of eternity. Number 6. Navigating ignorance with Stoic grace. Have you ever met someone whose actions show they don't understand, but whose belief is as strong as if they were an expert? Even though this situation is upsetting, it's a good time to practice being patient. Grace Galileo, the famous scientist who pushed heliocentrism during a time of strong geocentric beliefs, is a great example of how to deal with ignorance. Number 7. How to deal with rumors. There must have been many times in your life when you were the subject of a story, hearing whispers getting louder as they went around. It's a normal human reaction, but keeping quiet can change the situation. Think about the story of a community leader whose dedication to protecting the environment led to false rumors about her personal gain. Instead of addressing each rumor, she stayed focused on her work, remembering Marcus Aurelius's words, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who hurt you." This leader's decision to remain silent and continue her advocacy let her actions speak louder than any rumor. Her behavior shows an important Stoic concept. Number 8. When confronted with injustice. Stoic philosophy teaches us to deal with life's problems with fairness and inner strength. This is especially important when we face unfairness. As the wise Epicurean said, "Bear and forbear." This maxim tells us to go through hard times without complaining and forgive others for their mistakes. Nelson Mandela fought against racism in South Africa in a way that made this theory very clear. Mandela's long time in jail could have made him angry, but he came out as a supporter of peace and unity, showing a deep, stoic resilience. Mandela didn't just stand there and let injustice happen. He chose to focus on healing and unity instead of getting even. This choice shows a key Stoic principle. Our biggest power lies in our ability to choose how to react to outside events. How might our own lives change if we followed Mandela's lead when it comes to the unfair things that happen to us? Number 9. How to handle insults with Stoic wisdom. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." This maxim should wake us up every time someone insults us, and it also gives us a deep way to deal with insults. Be quiet. This insight tells us that we can choose how to react by choosing silence and understanding instead of conflict. Mahatma Gandhi, for example, faced insults and resistance in his fight for Indian freedom, but he didn't answer with anger or insult. Instead, he chose to be silent and understand. Gandhi believed in ahimsa, or pacifism, which is similar to the Stoic way of life. Joyful peace. Gandhi's reaction to verbal and physical attacks was to keep quiet. This often made his enemies less dangerous and won support for his cause among the public. How might taking a similar stance when you are insulted change the dynamics of your interactions with others? What could you gain by keeping your cool instead of responding with words when someone attacks you? You give yourself room to act with purpose instead of impulsiveness. This stern practice not only keeps you calm, but it also makes you look like a leader who is above everyone else. Small disagreements that echoed Marcus Aurelius's, "How much worse are the results of anger and grief than the things that made us feel those ways?" Think about this as you deal with the problems that come up every day. Think about what this stern silence could do for your life. Could it be the key to a better, more successful life? How might your actions affect how other people deal with problems? As we've looked at the 9 pivotal moments to embrace silence, from dealing with talk to facing loss, Stoic advice has shown us a way to peace and understanding. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Don't waste time arguing about what a good man should be one." In the spirit of his words, let us practice the deep strength that can be found in silence by deciding when to speak and when to listen. This will help us live a peaceful, happy, and kind life. Feel free to use these Stoic principles in your everyday conversations and see how the power of thoughtful silence can make your life better. If you found this talk deep and useful, please click the like button. leave a note with your thoughts, and don't forget to share these deep philosophical ideas with everyone you know. If you're new, subscribe to our channel to get more deep lessons in Stoicism that will help you grow. See you in the next lessons. Imagine going through your entire life believing that every single setback, every challenge, was actually setting you up for something greater. Today we're diving deep into the heart of Stoicism, uncovering how this timeless wisdom can be not just a beacon of light during our darkest times. So, if you've ever felt like you're constantly battling against the tide, if you've ever wondered how to find peace amidst the storm, or if you're just curious about how ancient wisdom can illuminate our modern lives, then you're in the right place. Join me as we explore how to harness the principles of Stoicism to transform our challenges into our greatest victories, learning to live with intention, integrity, and indomitable spirit. I invite you to hit that subscribe button and stay with us throughout the entire video. Number 1. Question your own limits. Have you ever caught yourself settling for less than you're capable of? It's a common theme in many of our lives, where we coast through days, weeks, or even years without really questioning the boundaries we've set for ourselves. But here's where the potent question, why not, steps into the spotlight. It's a simple query, yet it has the power to unravel layers of complacency and fear that hold us back. Now let's infuse this with a dose of Stoicism. The Stoics weren't about sitting back and letting life happen to them. They were proactive, constantly examining their lives, their decisions, and their actions through a lens of virtue and self-improvement. When faced with a challenge or a decision to make, a Stoic would ask themselves, why not take the path that leads to growth? This isn't about reckless risk-taking. It's about conscious, deliberate choices that align with your core values and your higher self. So when you find yourself at a crossroads, feeling hesitant or uncertain about stepping into the unknown or up-leveling your efforts, pause and ask yourself, why not? Why not strive for that promotion, start that project, or take that leap of faith towards your dreams? Number 2. Be obsessed with getting better. In the realm of Stoicism, this relentless pursuit of improvement aligns perfectly with the concept of prokopton, the idea of making consistent progress, or being a work in progress. The Stoics believed in focusing on what they could control, namely their virtues, actions, and responses to external events. They weren't after perfection, they were after progress. And that's what I'm urging you to chase: consistent, relentless progress. Think about it. Improvement is at the heart of everything meaningful. Whether it's refining your skills at work, deepening your relationships, or cultivating inner peace, the essence of a fulfilling life is growth. When you're obsessed with improving, you're inherently aligned with the Stoic virtue of self-mastery. You're committed to the journey of becoming your best self, not for accolades or external validation, but because it's the most authentic expression of living according to your principles. But here's the thing. Being obsessed with improving isn't about being harsh or unforgiving with yourself. It's about embracing a compassionate, persistent dedication to your growth. It's about celebrating the small victories while staying hungry for the next level of your evolution. And yes, there will be setbacks and failures along the way, but in true Stoic fashion, you'll see these not as defeats, but as invaluable lessons and stepping stones on your path to improvement. Number 3. Pour your heart into it. Stoics are known for their resilience, their steadfastness, and their unyielding commitment to their values. When they commit to something, they give it their all, not for the sake of accolades or recognition, but because they understand that this total commitment is the essence of living a virtuous, meaningful life. They don't half-heartedly engage with their duties or passions. Instead, They pour their entire being into their endeavors, embodying the principle that the worth of our actions lies not in their outcomes, but in the depth of our commitment. Giving it all you've got is about channeling your energy, focus, and efforts into your pursuits, whatever they may be. It's about waking up each day and deciding that you're not going to coast through life on autopilot, but instead, you're going to actively shape your destiny with your thoughts, choices, and actions. It's about not just dreaming big, but also acting big, taking those bold, decisive steps that propel you forward, even when the path is fraught with challenges and uncertainties. Number 4, stay on your path. We live in a world that's brimming with distractions, temptations, and, let's be honest, plenty of reasons to veer off course. But here's where the true magic happens. When you commit to your path, despite all the noise and chaos around you, you're taking a stand for something greater. You're honoring your journey, your values, and ultimately yourself. Stoics understood that life is fraught with distractions that can lead us astray from our true purpose. But they also knew the power of staying the course, of remaining steadfast in their commitment to their principles and goals. For Stoics, staying on your path wasn't just about personal achievement. It was a matter of integrity and character. So, what does it mean for you to stay on your path? It means being clear about your direction in life, knowing what you stand for, what you're striving toward, and what kind of person you want to be. It means setting your sights on your North Star and navigating by it, even when storms arise and the waters get choppy. But here's the crucial part. Staying on your path doesn't mean being rigid or inflexible. Life is unpredictable, and part of staying true to your course is being adaptable, learning from your experiences, and adjusting your sails when necessary. What matters is that these adjustments are always in alignment with your core values and ultimate vision. So how can you ensure you're staying on your path? It starts with self-awareness. Number 5, don't focus on outcomes. We're often taught to keep our eyes on the prize, measuring success by the results we achieve. But what if I told you that there's immense freedom and power in letting go of your attachment to outcomes? This is where Stoicism shines, offering us a profoundly liberating perspective that can transform our approach to life and our understanding of success. The Stoics teach us that there are things within our control and things beyond it. Our efforts, intentions, and attitudes, those are up to us. Number 6. You attract what you embody. Imagine living your life as a mirror, reflecting back not just what you project outwardly, but also what resides within you. If you are filled with negativity, fear, or bitterness, these traits can taint your experiences and interactions. Conversely, if you cultivate virtues like kindness, resilience, and integrity, these qualities will shine through in your life, attracting positive experiences and relationships. Number 7. Embrace the challenge. Now think about the obstacles you've faced in your own life. We all have them, whether they're minor inconveniences or monumental setbacks. Our instinctive reaction might be frustration, discouragement, or even despair. But what if instead we viewed these obstacles as hidden gifts, as catalysts for personal development and self-discovery? That's the essence of this Stoic principle. When the Stoics spoke of obstacles, they weren't being flippant or dismissive of life's hardships. They fully acknowledged the pain and difficulty that challenges can bring. However, they also believed that within every obstacle lies the seed of an equal or greater benefit. It's not the obstacle itself that defines our experience, but our reaction to it. By choosing to see the obstacle as a pathway, we shift from being passive victims of our circumstances to active, empowered agents of change. So how can you apply "the obstacle is the way" in your daily life? Number 8. Do what little you can. In the grand tapestry of life, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of our ambitions or the complexity of the challenges we face. We might think, what difference can my small contribution possibly make? But here's the thing. Every big achievement is the sum of its parts, each one crafted by individual, seemingly insignificant actions. The Stoics understood that we don't control the grand outcomes. We control our choices moment by moment. They teach us to focus on the present, to do what is right and necessary now, without becoming paralyzed by the size of the task at hand or overly fixated on the distant goal. Do what little you can is a call to action, urging us to engage with life actively and purposefully, no matter how small or humble our contributions may seem. So, how can we live out this principle? Start by breaking down your larger goals into smaller, actionable steps. 9. Change your definition of success. In a world where success is often measured by material wealth, job titles, or social media followers, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. But what if we took a step back and re-evaluated our criteria for success? The Stoics teach us that true success is not about acquiring things or impressing others. It's about developing a strong character, living in accordance with nature, and fulfilling our roles as human beings. It's about being honest, just, courageous, and wise, regardless of our circumstances. This approach to success is incredibly empowering because it places the power firmly in our own hands. We may not be able to control the economy, the job market, or the opinions of others, but we can always control our own virtues and actions. So how can we start to change our definition of success? It begins with introspection. Take some time to reflect on what you truly value and what kind of person you want to be. Number 10. Avoid seeking approval. In a society where so much emphasis is placed on approval and validation from others, it's easy to lose ourselves, to forget our core values and motivations in the pursuit of being liked. But Stoicism offers a powerful antidote to this external orientation, reminding us that our worth and our choices should be grounded in our own principles and virtues, not in the fleeting opinions of others. The Stoics teach us that seeking approval can be a form of enslavement. We become hostages to the whims and judgments of others, allowing their perceptions to dictate our actions and our self-esteem. But when we liberate ourselves from this need for external validation, we gain a profound sense of freedom and authenticity. We can act according to our own values and beliefs, pursuing what we genuinely think is right and meaningful, regardless of whether it wins us popularity or praise. Number 11. Reject distractions. In a world that constantly demands our time, attention, and energy, learning to say no is an invaluable skill. It's not just about rejecting things we don't want to do. It's about affirming our priorities, our values, and our autonomy. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what's truly important and within our control, and sometimes that means declining requests, opportunities, or even demands that don't align with our core values. The Stoics were advocates of living in accordance with nature, which included recognizing and honoring our own limits. They understood that our time and energy are finite resources, and that we must be judicious in how we allocate them. Saying no, then, becomes a crucial exercise in discernment, a way of ensuring that we're dedicating ourselves to what's genuinely meaningful and beneficial, not just what's urgent or requested of us. Number 12. Let it go with indifference. How can one truly let go with indifference? It's about understanding and internalizing the distinction between what we can control and what we can't. We can control our efforts, our attitudes, our virtues, but we can't control the outcomes, the actions of others, or the whims of fate. When we truly grasp this, we begin to free ourselves from the frustration, anxiety, and disappointment that come from clinging to things beyond our control. But let's be clear, letting go with indifference doesn't mean not caring about anything. It means caring deeply about the right things, the things that are truly up to us, and accepting the rest with equanimity. It's about investing our energy wisely, pouring our passion and efforts into our actions, and letting go of our attachment to the results. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. Please continue to explore and deepen your understanding by watching one of the suggested videos on the screen. Together, we grow stronger, wiser, and more grounded in the principles that guide us toward a life of purpose and meaning. Imagine waking up every day with a crystal-clear sense of purpose, not swayed by setbacks, unfazed by the chaos around you, and relentlessly focused on what truly matters. It sounds almost superhuman, doesn't it? Yet this was the everyday reality for one of the most powerful men in ancient history, Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher. His personal notes, a collection that has survived millennia, aren't just musings of a bygone era, but are startlingly relevant advice on how to harness the power of self-discipline amidst the noise of life. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of Stoicism, exploring its principles not as abstract concepts, but as practical tools for living a more disciplined, fulfilled life. Stoicism teaches us how to turn adversity into advantage, emotional turmoil into tranquility, and life's unpredictability into a wellspring of strength. Whether you're struggling with daily stresses, seeking inner peace, or looking to elevate your productivity, understanding the Stoic way of life offers profound insights. If you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. Also, don't skip any part of the video, because if you're here, you're different from the majority. So consider yourself an exception and stay tuned for the unique insights we'll explore together. Number 1. Self-discipline starts with finding your purpose. At the heart of Marcus Aurelius's philosophy is the belief that self-discipline begins with finding your purpose. But what does it really mean to find your purpose? It's about discovering what truly matters to you, what drives you at your core, and aligning your daily actions with that deeper calling. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about living in agreement with nature, which in Stoic terms means understanding your role in the larger scheme of things and acting in harmony with your virtues. For Aurelius, the purpose wasn't just a lofty ideal, but a practical compass that guided his every decision, from the mundane to the monumental. He believed that understanding one's purpose is what pushes you out of bed in the morning, ready to face the challenges of the day. It's what keeps you steadfast when temptations beckon you to stray. And it's not about grandiose achievements or external accolades, but about fulfilling the duties that life has laid out for you, performing each task with commitment and integrity. In a modern context, finding your purpose can often feel overwhelming. We live in a world saturated with choices and distractions that can lead us away from our true paths. Here is where Stoic wisdom is not just helpful, but essential. Stoicism teaches us to peel back the layers of superficial desires and fleeting emotions to reveal what is truly essential for our well-being and growth. It encourages us to ask ourselves, what is truly worth my time and energy? How can my actions today contribute to the greater good and to my personal development? As we explore how to apply this principle in our lives, think about what you are naturally drawn to, where you find deep satisfaction, or what challenges you are motivated to solve. These are clues to your purpose. And once identified, the Stoic practice of daily reflection becomes invaluable. By continuously aligning your actions with your purpose, by saying no to what doesn't serve you and yes to what does, you cultivate the self-discipline necessary to live a meaningful and impactful life. Number 2. Count on yourself. When Marcus Aurelius wrote about self-discipline, a recurring theme in his reflections was the importance of relying on oneself. Count on yourself is not just about self-reliance, but an integral part of the Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes the importance of personal accountability and independence. This isn't about isolation or rejecting assistance from others. Rather, it's about recognizing that the ultimate responsibility for our actions, reactions, and personal growth rests within us. In Stoicism, the idea of focusing on what is within our control is paramount. Aurelius often discussed the power of the self in confronting whatever challenges life throws our way. By counting on ourselves, we tap into our inner resilience and strength. This principle teaches us to trust in our abilities to navigate through life's uncertainties and adversities. It's about building confidence not through arrogance, but through competence and a thorough understanding of one's own capacities and virtues. Number 3. Show up every day. Marcus Aurelius consistently emphasized the power of persistence, of showing up not just in body but in spirit every single day. This practice is not about monumental efforts unleashed sporadically, but about the quiet, steady dedication to daily tasks, which collectively forge a disciplined life. For Aurelius, showing up every day was synonymous with the Stoic idea of living in accordance with nature. To him, nature demanded of us not just to exist, but to actively participate in life, to contribute to the world through our actions, no matter how small or routine they might seem. Each day presented itself as a new arena, not for grand battles, but for proving one's commitment to their principles and duties. It's in the consistency, the everyday effort, where character is built and tested. Number 4. Practice voluntary hardship. This Stoic practice, strongly advocated by Marcus Aurelius, is about much more than just making life intentionally difficult. It's about preparing oneself for the unpredictabilities of life, strengthening one's resilience and deepening appreciation for what one has. Marcus Aurelius, like many Stoics, believed that experiencing discomfort voluntarily helps to fortify the mind against times when life might force discomfort upon us. Number 5. Practice dichotomy of control. This principle distinguishes between what is and isn't within our control, urging us to focus our energy solely on the former. This seemingly simple concept can profoundly transform our approach to life's challenges, reducing anxiety and fostering a deeper sense of peace and resilience. So, what exactly is within our control? According to Stoicism, it's primarily our own actions, reactions, and judgments. Our thoughts, our will, our responses. These are the arenas where we have agency. Everything external, be it the weather, the actions of others, or global events, lies outside our direct control. Never play the victim. This concept involves a profound understanding of personal responsibility and the Stoic commitment to self-mastery. Rather than succumbing to a victim mentality where one sees themselves as a passive recipient of life's hardships, Stoicism encourages us to seize control over our perceptions and reactions. This empowerment is central to the Stoic belief that our happiness and peace of mind are determined more by our internal state than by external events. Number 7. Practice delayed gratification. Marcus Aurelius championed this principle not just as a personal discipline, but as a pathway to greater freedom and satisfaction. In the Stoic view, mastering one's impulses by delaying gratification isn't about denying pleasure, but about achieving a higher form of fulfillment that is aligned with one's values and long-term goals. delayed gratification in the Stoic sense, involves a strategic postponement of immediate desires to gain more significant and enduring rewards. It's about making choices that might not offer instant satisfaction, but lead to lasting well-being and personal growth. This principle is particularly relevant in our modern culture of instant everything, where the ability to wait, to hold off for something better, is a rare and valuable skill. For Stoics like Aurelius, the practice of delayed gratification was also about maintaining mastery over one's desires. He believed that being enslaved to fleeting pleasures could lead to a loss of freedom, in that one becomes captive to their whims and impulses. Instead, by exercising restraint and choosing our actions based on reason and foresight, we cultivate a life not just of temporary pleasures, but of lasting tranquility and contentment. Number 8. Ignore naysayers. This concept goes beyond merely not listening to negative feedback. It's about cultivating a mental resilience that allows you to remain steadfast in your convictions and focused on your goals, even in the face of doubt and skepticism from others. For Stoics, the approval or disapproval of others is outside one's control, and therefore not something to rely on for personal validation or guidance. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about focusing only on actions and opinions within one's own control, emphasizing that true peace comes from within and cannot be shaken by external judgments. This Stoic indifference is not about being dismissive of others, but about maintaining an internal locus of control. It encourages us to filter out noise that does not serve our higher purposes or align with our values. In practical terms, ignoring naysayers is crucial in our modern world, where opinions are plentiful and criticism is often just a click away. It involves recognizing that while constructive feedback can be valuable for growth. Number 9. Find wise people to emulate. This concept is rooted in the belief that much of our learning and personal development comes from observing and reflecting on the lives of those who have mastered virtues we aspire to develop. Emulating wise individuals isn't about copying them, but about learning from their example to enhance our own character and judgment. Marcus Aurelius, despite being an emperor, often wrote about his admiration for the qualities of others, both past and present. He saw the emulation of these figures as a way to internalize their strengths and virtues. For him and other Stoics, wisdom wasn't just theoretical knowledge, but a practical guide to living well, which could be best understood through the actions of those who have applied these principles effectively. In the context of Stoicism, choosing whom to emulate is about recognizing those who embody the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These could be historical figures, contemporaries, or even characters from stories and literature who demonstrate qualities such as resilience, ethical integrity, and rational thinking. The key is to look for individuals whose lives provide a roadmap for facing challenges with grace and determination. Number 10. Honestly review your day. This practice isn't merely about recounting events, but involves a profound and reflective examination of one's thoughts, actions, and responses throughout the day. It's about discerning whether these behaviors aligned with one's values and Stoic virtues such as wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. This introspective process is crucial because it serves as a feedback loop that helps one become more conscious of their actions and decisions. For Stoics, the purpose of this daily review isn't to dwell on mistakes or to indulge in self-criticism, but to observe and adjust. It's about learning from each day's experiences and using that knowledge to refine oneself continuously. Marcus Aurelius used this technique as a way to ensure that he was not only performing his duties as an emperor, but was also growing as a philosopher and human being. Incorporating this practice into modern life can be incredibly beneficial. It encourages us to end each day with a moment of quiet reflection. If you're keen to dive deeper, check out one of the suggested videos on your screen next, and we're grateful for it. Until next time, keep living intentionally and wisely. Did you know that the secret to transforming your life's biggest challenges into your greatest opportunities might have been discovered over 2,000 years ago? Imagine facing life's storms with a calm so powerful nothing could shake your inner peace. Sounds like a superpower, right? Well, it's not just a fantasy. This ancient superpower, it's an age-old philosophy that's as practical today as it was in the bustling markets and marble halls of ancient Rome and Greece. Stick around. Today, we're diving deep into Stoicism, uncovering its timeless wisdom and discovering how it can transform not just the way we think, but the way we live. If you're eager to embark on this journey of transformation, don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit that like button. Stick with me till the end without skipping, because every moment of this video is a step towards uncovering the Stoic wisdom that can change your life. 1. Focusing on what's in your control. Have you ever found yourself stuck in traffic, fuming over the delay, or scrolling through your phone only to get upset over a negative comment someone left on your post? It happens to the best of us. It's almost like our day-to-day life is filled with these little tests, challenging our mood and our peace of mind at every turn. But here's a game-changing perspective from the world of Stoicism that can turn all that frustration on its head. Stoicism, this incredible philosophy that dates back to ancient Greece and Rome, hands us this powerful tool, focusing on what's in our control. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think about that for a second. Traffic, bad weather, negative comments, these are all outside our control. We can't change them, no matter how much we wish we could. What we can change, however, is how we react to them. This idea isn't just ancient wisdom, it's backed by modern psychology too. 2. Embracing obstacles as opportunities. Stoicism teaches us the art of embracing obstacles as opportunities. It sounds counterintuitive, right? Most of us are programmed to view obstacles as just that, barriers to our success and happiness. But Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus flip this narrative on its head. They tell us, when life throws you a curveball, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What can I learn?" This is a game changer. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher, penned in his personal writings, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." What he means here is that every obstacle, no matter how daunting, not only tests our resilience, but also teaches us valuable lessons. It's about finding the silver lining in tough situations and using it to fuel our growth. This perspective isn't just ancient philosophy, it's backed by modern thinkers too. The famous psychologist Carl Jung said, "What you resist persists." By fighting against obstacles, we give them more power over us, but by accepting and learning from them, we can overcome them. This Stoic mindset is about transforming challenges into stepping stones towards becoming stronger and wiser. 3. Living in the present moment. It's something we hear about all the time, right? Live in the now. But what does that really mean? And why is it so important? Living in the present moment is about fully embracing and experiencing where you are at this very second, not letting your mind wander off to the worries of tomorrow or the regrets of yesterday. It's about realizing that life, with all its beauty, challenges and surprises, happens in the now. This concept isn't new. It's been a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, echoed by great minds like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. and it's been reiterated by modern psychologists and thinkers. Let's start with the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." He understood that the power of living in the present lies in its ability to ground us, to clear our minds of distractions, and to allow us to appreciate the richness of life as it unfolds. But why is it so hard to stay present? Our minds are often cluttered with thoughts, worries about what's next, or replaying things that have already happened. This constant mental noise pulls us away from the beauty and potential of the here and now. As the famous psychologist Carl Jung put it, the least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. 4. Building self-discipline. I know the word self-discipline might bring to mind images of rigid schedules and a life devoid of fun, but let's reshape that picture together. Self-discipline is not about restricting your life. It's about empowering yourself to make choices that align with your deepest values and long-term aspirations. It's choosing what's right for you, not what's easy in the moment. At its core, building self-discipline is about mastery over ourselves. It's about saying yes to things that serve us and no to things that don't, even when it's tough. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This powerful statement highlights the essence of self-discipline. It's about controlling our impulses, emotions, and actions, despite the external temptations and distractions that life throws our way. 5. Developing emotional resilience. When life throws its curveballs, we all experience a whirlwind of emotions. Feeling angry, sad, or frustrated is a natural part of being human. But here's the kicker. It's not just about the emotions we feel, it's about how we handle them. That's where the magic of emotional resilience comes in. Emotional resilience is like this superpower that allows us to navigate through life's storms with grace and come out stronger on the other side. It's about acknowledging our emotions, understanding them, and then taking positive steps to move forward, rather than being swept away by the tide of our feelings. 6. Memento mori. Remember, you will die. The Stoics, including great minds like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, used this concept not to create fear, but to inspire a deeper appreciation for every moment. They believed that by keeping the inevitability of death in mind, we would live more fully, consciously, and with gratitude for the present. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often reflected on the transience of life, encouraging us to live in a way that's true to our values and to make the most of the time we're given. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think, he wrote. This isn't about being morose. It's a call to action, a reminder to focus on what truly matters, to let go of petty concerns, and to live with purpose and integrity. 7. Practicing gratitude. It's fascinating how such a simple concept can have a profound impact on our lives. It's about shifting our focus to what we have, rather than dwelling on what we're missing. This practice can be a real game changer, especially on those days that feel like an uphill battle. The Stoics, wise as they were, had a lot to say about gratitude. They believed that happiness doesn't come from having more, but from appreciating what we already have. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of focusing on the present and finding joy in the simple things. He said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This is gratitude in its purest form, recognizing the value of life itself and the many gifts it offers us each day. Seneca talked about how our desires can lead us astray, always chasing after more and never finding true satisfaction. He suggested that by focusing on what we have and understanding that the best things in life are already within our grasp, we can find real contentment. 8. Focusing on personal excellence. The Stoics had a profound understanding of personal excellence. They believed that excellence, or virtue, is the sole good, and that everything we do should aim towards living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, is a prime example of someone who strived for personal excellence. He once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This simple yet powerful statement encapsulates the essence of personal excellence. It's about embodying the values we admire and striving to live by them every day. Seneca emphasized the importance of self-improvement and learning. He advocated for a life lived in accordance with nature and reason, suggesting that true excellence comes from within and is reflected in our actions and choices. Epictetus highlighted the role of personal responsibility in achieving excellence. 9. Not caring what others think. In a world saturated with social media, where likes, follows and comments often dictate our self-worth, it's easy to fall into the trap of valuing ourselves through the lens of others' opinions. But here's a liberating truth. Your worth isn't based on external validation. It's about being true to yourself, embracing your authenticity, and living in alignment with your values. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers we keep turning to for timeless wisdom, had a lot to say about this. They taught that our inner peace and freedom come from focusing on what's within our control, our actions, our thoughts, our integrity, not the fluctuating opinions of others. Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinions of others." 10. Accepting change. Here's the thing. Accepting change is not just necessary, it's vital for our growth and happiness. The reality is, the only constant in life is change. Learning to go with the flow and embrace life's inevitable shifts makes navigating through them less scary and more of an adventure. The Stoics had an incredibly healthy perspective on change. They saw it as a natural part of the universe's rhythm. Marcus Aurelius said, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" This profound acceptance of change as part of the fabric of life helps us understand that each change, whether we perceive it as good or bad, has its place in our story. Seneca taught that becoming too attached to our current circumstances can lead to disappointment, because inevitably those circumstances will change. He advised us to be flexible and to understand that change is not just a part of life, but a necessary component of our personal development and happiness. 11. Practicing compassion and empathy. Despite our differences, we're all in this together, navigating the complex journey of life. By fostering an understanding and caring attitude towards others, we contribute to making the world a kinder, more loving place. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers who continue to enlighten us with their timeless wisdom, placed great importance on the virtues of compassion and empathy. They believed in the interconnectedness of all humans and taught that kindness and understanding towards others are essential aspects of living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, reminded us that human beings are social creatures by nature, meant to live in harmony and cooperation with one another. He said, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee." 12. Reflecting and reviewing regularly. This is about taking a pause, a real, meaningful pause, to look back on our actions, our thoughts, and the paths we've tread. It's about growth, introspection, and aligning our lives with our deepest values. In a world that's always rushing forward, this practice is our anchor. ensuring we're not just being swept away, but are sailing in the direction that's true to us. The Stoics, with their profound insights into human nature, placed immense value on the practice of reflection. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings, which we now treasure as meditations, offered a model of this practice. He didn't just rule an empire, he took the time to examine his life, his decisions, and his moral compass through writing. He saw this reflection as essential to living a life of virtue and purpose. "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts," he wrote, reminding us that our internal dialogue shapes our external reality. Seneca recommended regular self-assessment as a way to foster self-improvement and wisdom. He likened life to a play, suggesting that we periodically review our roles and performances. Are we acting in harmony with the character we wish to embody? Are our actions reflective of the script we value, the script of our lives? Epictetus encouraged his students to end each day with a review of their actions and attitudes. Most authentic version of yourself. Together, let's keep growing, keep reflecting, and keep embracing the beautiful complexity of life. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Until we meet again, remember to live not just for the applause, but for the cause of being your most genuine self. Take care and see you on the next step of our journey. In the chaos of our daily lives, it's easy to feel like we're drowning in a sea of stress and uncertainty. Yet, there's a way to find calm amidst the storm, a path to inner peace that has stood the test of time. Picture this. Despite everything that's thrown at you, work pressures, personal conflicts, unexpected challenges, you can stand firm, unshaken, and serene. This isn't just a dream. It's the essence of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us how to master our emotions and reactions to live a more fulfilled life. Today, we're diving into the heart of Stoicism, exploring 10 timeless principles that can transform the way you navigate life's inevitable ups and downs. These principles are not abstract theories, but practical tools that you can apply every day to build resilience and inner strength. Whether you're struggling with a difficult relationship, feeling overwhelmed by your responsibilities, or simply seeking a deeper sense of purpose, the wisdom of Stoicism offers profound insights and practical strategies to help you thrive. Stay with me as we journey through these powerful Stoic teachings, from learning how to maintain a firm purpose in life to mastering the art of emotional control. Each principle is a stepping stone to a life where external events no longer dictate your inner peace. By the end of this video, you'll have the knowledge and tools to cultivate a state of calm and confidence no matter what life throws your way. So let's embark on this transformative journey together and discover how the ancient wisdom of Stoicism can help you achieve unshakable tranquility and true happiness. If you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button and don't skip any part of the video. Principle number 1. Firm purposes. Imagine setting sail on a vast ocean without a clear destination. You'd drift aimlessly, subject to every shift in the wind and wave. That's what life feels like without a firm purpose, directionless and vulnerable to external forces. Epictetus emphasized the importance of having clear, firm purposes. He said, "Difficulties show a person's character, and the greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it." This isn't just a philosophical musing, it's a call to action. When you have a firm purpose, it's like having a compass that guides you through life's tumultuous seas. This purpose doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's crafted through moments of deep reflection on what truly matters to you. Principle number 2. Guarding your mind. When someone offends us, it's natural to feel hurt and want to retaliate. But here's where Stoicism steps in with a powerful lesson. Our emotions are the result of our thoughts and personal perspectives. This means we have the power to choose how to respond to any situation. Instead of letting offense overwhelm us, we can see it as an opportunity to strengthen our patience and self-awareness. Think of it like this. Every time you resist the urge to react impulsively, you're building a mental muscle. You're training your mind to remain calm and composed, no matter what. Mind control is not just a skill, it's an art that requires daily practice. Start with small habits that help you regain control over your thoughts. For instance, set small, achievable goals every day. Each time you accomplish a goal, no matter how minor, you build self-confidence and reinforce your ability to control your mind. Principle number 3. Handling criticism. Epictetus taught that we cannot control the opinions or actions of others, but we can control how we react to them. This principle means that even when someone criticizes us harshly, we have the power to decide how much that criticism will affect us. In today's world, this translates to accepting that everyone has their own perspectives and values, which may not always align with ours. It's normal to encounter differing opinions and sometimes harsh words. What matters is how we process and respond to these situations. The first step in handling criticism is understanding ourselves deeply. When you have a clear understanding of your motivations and the reasons behind your actions, criticism from others loses its sting. If you know you are acting according to your values and principles, negative words from others become less significant. This self-awareness creates a strong foundation that protects you from being easily swayed by external opinions. When faced with criticism, instead of reacting defensively, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself if there is any truth in the criticism. Sometimes even harsh feedback can contain valuable insights that can help us grow. This doesn't mean you have to accept all criticism as valid, but being open to considering it shows maturity and a willingness to learn. Stoicism also teaches the importance of patience and gentleness. Patience allows us to maintain our composure and not react hastily or negatively to criticism. Gentleness helps us maintain good relationships with others, even when they disagree with us or criticize us. Principle number 4. Transforming offense. Epictetus taught that what frightens and dismays us is not the events themselves, but how we think about them. This means that when someone offends you, it's not their words or actions that hurt you, but rather your perception and reaction to those words or actions. In other words, the power lies within you to decide how much an offense will impact you. This principle is liberating because it shifts the control from external circumstances to your internal world. Transforming offense isn't about denying your emotions. It's natural to feel hurt or angry when you're offended. Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge these emotions without being controlled by them. It's about creating a space between the stimulus and your response. Principle number 5. Overcoming fear and shame. Epictetus pointed out a profound truth. We are the ones who assign meaning to events, thus creating fear and shame within our souls. This means that these emotions are not inherent in the situations themselves, but are products of our interpretations. Once we understand this, we can begin to change the way we perceive and respond to fear and shame. Fear often arises from the unknown or the anticipation of negative outcomes. It's a natural response meant to protect us, but it can become debilitating if left unchecked. Stoicism teaches us to face our fears head-on. Instead of avoiding what scares us, we should examine it closely. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? Break it down into specific concerns. Often, you'll find that the fear loses its power when you analyze it rationally. For instance, imagine you're afraid of public speaking, This fear might stem from the worry of being judged or making mistakes, but by breaking it down, you realize that the audience is not there to judge you harshly. They are there to listen and learn. And even if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. Every speaker stumbles at some point. By facing this fear and preparing thoroughly, you gradually build confidence. Each time you speak, you chip away at the fear, and it becomes more manageable. Principle number 7. Inner strength and response. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple yet profound statement underscores the essence of inner strength. Our true power lies not in altering external circumstances, but in mastering our inner responses. When faced with adversity, whether it's severe criticism from a trusted friend or an unexpected setback, we have the freedom to choose our response. This choice defines our character and shapes our life. Inner strength is cultivated through self-awareness and deliberate practice. It starts with recognizing your emotions without letting them overwhelm you. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings, but rather observing them and understanding their roots. When you become aware of your emotional triggers, you can better manage your reactions. This self-awareness is the first step towards building inner strength. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of distinguishing between what is within our control and what is not. This distinction is crucial for maintaining inner peace. We cannot control other people's actions or opinions, but we can control our attitudes and responses. By focusing on what we can control, we conserve our energy and reduce unnecessary stress. This mindset shift is empowering and helps us stay grounded in the face of external turbulence. Forgiveness is another powerful aspect of inner strength. Holding on to grudges and resentment drains our energy and clouds our judgment. Just as Stoicism teaches us to control our reactions, it also encourages us to practice forgiveness. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but rather releasing its hold on us. By forgiving, we free ourselves from the burden of negative emotions and create space for healing and growth. Building inner strength also involves developing resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and setbacks are inevitable. Principle number 8. Restraining actions. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending they don't exist. It means acknowledging your feelings, but not letting them dictate your actions. It's about creating a space between stimulus and response, a moment to reflect and choose the most appropriate course of action. This practice of pausing and reflecting is powerful and can transform how you interact with the world. Principle number 9. The power of acceptance. Acceptance is the first step towards effective action. When we resist reality, we waste energy and create unnecessary suffering. For example, if you lose your job, it's natural to feel upset and worried about the future. But by accepting the situation, you can focus on what you can do next, updating your resume, networking, or exploring new career opportunities. This proactive mindset enables you to navigate the challenge more effectively and reduces the emotional toll of the experience. One practical way to cultivate acceptance is through mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you stay present and aware, allowing you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. By regularly practicing mindfulness, you develop the ability to accept each moment as it comes, with all its imperfections and uncertainties. Principle number 10. Living according to nature. Epictetus and other Stoic philosophers emphasized that living according to nature means recognizing our place in the world and acting in accordance with our rational and social nature. At its core, this principle is about living authentically and in harmony with the universe. Living according to nature starts with self-awareness. It requires a deep understanding of who we are and what our true nature is. This involves introspection and reflection on our values, strengths, and purpose. By understanding our natural tendencies and inclinations, we can make choices that align with our true selves rather than conforming to societal expectations or external pressures. This principle also means recognizing and accepting the natural cycles of life. Just as the seasons change, our lives go through different phases: growth, stability, decline, and renewal. By accepting these cycles, we can navigate life's transitions with greater ease and grace. Living according to nature involves cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. If you found this video helpful, be sure to check out one of the suggested videos on the screen. Stay strong, stay grounded, and continue your path to wisdom. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes it feels like everything is spinning out of control. But what if I told you there's a way to remain calm, strong, and unshakable no matter what life throws at you? That's the power of Stoicism. The Stoic mindset can transform the way you approach everything. So, if you've ever felt overwhelmed or stuck, this is the moment to take control. Today, I'm sharing practical Stoic strategies to help you level up your life, step by step. Before we get started, if you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple free favor I'll ask from you is to hit that subscribe button, and don't skip any part of the video because every strategy builds on the last. Let's dive in. Strategy 1. Make yourself a priority. I know what you might be thinking. Life's busy. You've got responsibilities, people to take care of, work piling up. But here's the truth. If you don't make yourself a priority, no one else will. You've probably heard the phrase, "You can't pour from an empty cup," right? Well, it's true. If you're constantly putting yourself last, eventually you'll run out of energy, focus, and even motivation. Making yourself a priority doesn't mean being selfish. It means making sure you're in the best shape, physically, mentally, and emotionally, to show up fully for the people and things that matter to you. Start small. Take a few minutes each morning just for yourself. Whether that's meditating, writing down your goals, or simply taking a deep breath and setting an intention for the day, it's strategy 2, enhance your appearance. Now, before you roll your eyes and think this is all about vanity, stick with me. There's a lot more depth here than you might realize. Enhancing your appearance isn't about conforming to society's beauty standards or obsessing over every little detail. It's about showing up as the best version of yourself, and that starts with how you present yourself to the world. Think about it. When you feel good about how you look, it boosts your confidence. And when you're confident, you walk a little taller, speak with more assurance, and approach challenges with more strength. It's not just about looking sharp, it's about feeling sharp. But here's the key. This isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity. Find a style that feels like you, whether that's a sleek suit, a casual vibe, or something totally unique. It's about wearing what makes you feel comfortable and confident. Your personal style is an extension of who you are, and when you align your outer appearance with how you feel inside, everything clicks. And let's not forget the simple things: regular grooming, keeping your clothes neat, standing up straight. These small details send a message, not just to the world, but to yourself, that you respect who you are. This isn't about spending a ton of money or keeping up with trends. It's about self-respect. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and your appearance is one of those things. When you take care of yourself on the outside, it often reflects how you're feeling on the inside. And trust me, this isn't about trying to impress others. It's about how you show up for yourself. When you dress in a way that feels true to who you are, you reinforce your sense of self-worth. You're telling yourself and the world, I'm here and I'm ready. So, take a moment to think. How can you enhance your appearance in a way that feels right for you? Maybe it's trying a new hairstyle or simply paying a little more attention to the way you carry yourself. Whatever it is, make it a reflection of the confidence you're building inside. Strategy 3. Keep a smile on your face. I get it. Some days are tough, and the last thing you might feel like doing is smiling. But here's the thing. Your smile is more powerful than you realize. It's not just about looking friendly. Smiling actually has a direct impact on your mood and your brain chemistry. When you smile, even if you're not feeling particularly happy, your brain releases feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. It's like a little mood boost that you can trigger anytime. And the best part? It works even if you have to fake it at first. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should walk around grinning like everything's perfect when it's not. Stoicism teaches us that life isn't about ignoring challenges, but about controlling our responses to them. Smiling in difficult situations doesn't mean you're pretending everything is fine. It means you're choosing your attitude in the face of adversity. It's about deciding to bring a bit of positivity into your day, no matter what's going on around you. That little smile can shift your mindset and help you stay calm and focused when things get rough. Here's where it gets even better. Your smile has a ripple effect. When you smile at someone, they're likely to smile back, even if they don't realize it. It's contagious. Think about how a simple smile from a stranger can brighten your day. You have that same power to spread positivity, whether it's at work, with friends, or even during a stressful situation. And hey, smiling even changes the way you sound. Try it next time you're on the phone. People can actually hear the difference in your voice when you're smiling. So, how do you make this a habit? Start your day with a smile, even before you get out of bed. Smile in the mirror when you're getting ready, and try to find moments throughout the day to smile, even if it's just at yourself. Strategy 4. Maintain a sense of kindness while limiting contact. Here's the reality. There are always going to be people in your life who drain your energy or who don't have your best interests at heart. It could be a co-worker, a distant friend, or even a family member. But here's the key. Just because someone is difficult or negative doesn't mean you have to be. You can stay kind while protecting your peace by setting boundaries. Stoicism teaches us to remain calm and centered, no matter how others behave. And part of that means knowing when to step back. Being kind doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Kindness is about showing respect to others and yourself. You can be kind and still say no when someone is asking too much of you. You can wish someone well but keep them at arm's length if they're constantly negative or draining your energy. Strategy 5. Remain calm in stressful situations. We've all been there. Deadlines are looming, your phone won't stop buzzing, and it feels like everything is piling up at once. It's easy to let stress take over, but here's the thing. Staying calm in the middle of chaos is your superpower. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control external events, we have complete control over how we respond to them. Stressful situations are going to happen, but how you react to them, that's entirely within your hands. When you stay calm, you keep your mind clear and your emotions in check, and that's when you make your best decisions. Think about it. When you're panicking or overwhelmed, it's hard to think straight, right? But when you take a deep breath, slow things down, and focus on what you can control, you suddenly gain a sense of clarity. One of the easiest ways to tap into this calmness is through your breath. Seriously, the next time you feel stress creeping in, try this. Take a deep breath in for 4 counts, hold it for 4, and then exhale for 4. You'll be amazed at how something so simple can instantly calm your nerves. Another powerful Stoic technique is to reframe the situation. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Often the answer is no. By putting the situation in perspective, you can immediately reduce its power over you. Sure, it might be stressful in the moment, but if it's not going to have a long-term impact, is it really worth getting worked up about? When you zoom out like that, it helps to remind you of what's really important and what you can let go of. One of the core ideas in Stoicism is to focus on what's within your control. In any stressful situation, there's always a part of it you can control: your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. You can't control if the project deadline gets moved up, but you can control how you manage your time. You can't control if someone else is being difficult, but you can control how you respond to them. By channeling your energy into the things you can influence, you stop wasting energy on things that are outside of your control. Strategy 6. Set your course. In a world that's constantly trying to tell you what to do, who to be, and how to live, setting your own course is an act of rebellion. It's about taking control of your life and steering it in the direction you want, not where others are pushing you. But here's the thing. Setting your course isn't just about chasing your dreams or doing whatever feels good in the moment. It's about aligning your life with your values, those things that matter to you on a deeper level. So, the first step? Get clear on what your core values are. What really matters to you? Is it freedom, creativity, family, growth? Whatever it is, those values become your compass. They help guide your decisions and keep you grounded when things get tough. If you're not sure what your values are, take some time to think about the moments when you felt most fulfilled or proud of yourself. Chances are, those experiences were in line with your core values. Once you know what truly drives you, it's easier to stay on course because you're not being swayed by distractions or other people's expectations. Next, set goals that are true to you. And I'm not talking about goals that look good on paper or goals that others think you should have. I mean authentic, meaningful goals that get you excited and align with your values. Success looks different for everyone, and it's easy to get caught up chasing someone else's version of it. But Stoicism teaches us to live according to our own principles, not society's expectations. So ask yourself, what does success look like for you? What do you want your life to look like 5 or 10 years from now? Here's the thing, setting your course isn't always comfortable. It often means stepping out of your comfort zone and embracing the unknown. Growth happens when you challenge yourself, and that can feel pretty uncomfortable at times. But here's where Stoicism comes in. Stoics remind us that discomfort is where real growth happens. The obstacles you face, they're not roadblocks. They're opportunities to get better, stronger, and more resilient. So when you're charting your own course, be prepared to embrace some discomfort along the way. It's all part of the process, and don't forget, this is a journey, not a race. Setting your course doesn't mean you have to figure everything out right now or have every step planned perfectly. Life changes, and so will your path. The important thing is to keep moving forward, stay curious, and be willing to adapt when necessary. Keep learning, keep growing, and be open to the idea that your course might shift as you discover more about yourself and the world around you. Trust your gut. While it's great to get advice from others, no one knows you better than you do. Your intuition is often a reflection of your values, experiences, and goals, so learn to trust it. The Stoics believed that wisdom comes from within, and that's something you should carry with you as you set your course. You have the ability to navigate your own life, and when you stay true to who you are, you'll find that the path you create is the one that leads to the most fulfillment. So, take the wheel, set your course, and steer your life in the direction that feels right for you. Strategy 7. Make your stand. This one is all about standing firm in who you are and what you believe in, and trust me, in today's world, that takes courage. Everywhere you turn, someone is telling you how you should think, what you should care about, and how you should live your life. But here's the thing, making your stand isn't always about shouting your beliefs from the rooftops or getting into debates with people who disagree. Sometimes it's as simple as living in a way that reflects your values. Your actions speak louder than words. If honesty is one of your values, live that in your daily life. If kindness is a priority for you, show it through your actions, even when it's hard. People notice when someone walks their talk, and that kind of integrity can be more powerful than any argument or speech. And let's be real, sometimes standing firm in your beliefs means standing alone. That can be tough. We all want to feel accepted, and it's easy to go along with the crowd to avoid conflict. But Stoicism teaches us that it's better to be true to yourself and your values than to fit in at the cost of your integrity. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." It's a reminder that growth and strength often come from moments when you're willing to stand out, even if it makes you unpopular or misunderstood. You don't have to fight every battle, though. Part of making your stand is knowing when to speak up and when to let things go. Not every situation requires you to dig in your heels. Pick your battles wisely. Focus on the ones that truly matter to you. It's okay to let small things slide if they don't compromise your core values. The Stoics remind us to conserve our energy for the things that really count, and that's a skill worth mastering. So, how do you start making your stand? Begin by getting clear on what you believe in. Then, make small, consistent choices that reflect those beliefs. Over time, you'll find that your actions become an unshakable reflection of your values, and that kind of strength and consistency is magnetic. People will respect you more, not just for what you believe, but for how you live those beliefs every day. And more importantly, you'll respect yourself more. So, plant your feet firmly, know what you stand for, and don't be afraid to live it, even if that means standing alone sometimes. Strategy 8. Nurture your wit. This one might seem a little surprising in a conversation about Stoicism, but humor and wit are incredibly powerful tools in life, especially when things get tough. The Stoics knew this, and while they're often seen as serious and reserved, they understood the importance of maintaining a light touch. Life can be heavy, no doubt, but nurturing your sense of humor helps you navigate challenges with grace and resilience. It's not about being a comedian or making others laugh all the time. It's about cultivating a perspective that allows you to see the lighter side of things, even when everything feels overwhelming. One of the best ways to nurture your wit is to learn to laugh at yourself. We all take ourselves a little too seriously at times, and being able to poke fun at your own quirks or mistakes shows confidence. It disarms others, puts them at ease, and, most importantly, it keeps you from getting bogged down by your own ego. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at." It's a reminder that when you can find humor in your own imperfections, life doesn't feel quite so heavy. A sense of humor also helps you keep things in perspective. When you train yourself to notice the absurdities of everyday life, the little ironies and contradictions, it becomes easier to shrug off the things that don't really matter. For example, getting stuck in traffic can either ruin your day or be something you laugh about. Maybe you missed your morning coffee and feel grumpy. Instead of spiraling into frustration, find the humor in how ridiculous it feels to let something so small impact your mood. It's all about shifting your mindset. Timing is also a key part of wit. Not every situation calls for a joke, but knowing when to inject a little humor can lighten the mood, diffuse tension, and even build stronger connections with others. Think about how much easier difficult conversations are when there's a bit of humor involved. It doesn't make the issue disappear, but it makes it more manageable. Humor shows that you're not taking everything so seriously that it breaks you. It demonstrates flexibility, and that's something people are drawn to. But here's the thing, humor doesn't just help in social situations. It's also a great coping mechanism for personal challenges. When you're going through a tough time, finding even a small bit of humor in the situation can be a game changer. It shifts the focus from how hard things are to how resilient you are for finding something to laugh about in the middle of it. It doesn't mean you're ignoring your problems. It means you're choosing to face them with a little more lightness. So how do you start nurturing your wit? Begin by observing the world around you. Life is full of odd, funny moments if you're paying attention. Read widely, different styles of writing, humor, and even philosophy. Exposure to different perspectives will help you develop your own unique brand of wit. Practice not taking yourself too seriously, and embrace those little moments where you can find humor, even in the challenges. Remember, wit isn't about being the funniest person in the room. It's about maintaining a perspective that helps you stay resilient. Life is serious enough. Having a sense of humor is a way to stay balanced and grounded, even when things get tough. So go ahead, nurture that wit. It's a small but mighty tool that can help you navigate life's ups and downs with a smile. Strategy 9. Be respectful of everyone. This might sound like common sense, but respect is often overlooked in the fast-paced, sometimes self-centered world we live in. Stoicism places a lot of value on treating others with dignity and respect, regardless of their status, opinions, or actions. And here's why this matters. When you show respect to others, it not only elevates them, but also reflects positively on you. It's about recognizing the inherent worth in every person, no matter who they are or where they come from. Being respectful doesn't mean you have to agree with everyone, or even like everyone. It's more about acknowledging their right to their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences. You don't have to share someone's beliefs to treat them with courtesy. In fact, some of the most meaningful connections happen when we disagree, but still listen and respect each other's perspectives. The Stoics remind us that we can't control how others act, but we can always control how we respond. Choosing to respond with respect is a reflection of your own character, not the other person's behavior. One of the easiest ways to show respect is simply by listening. In a world where everyone is talking, it's rare to find someone who genuinely listens. But when you do, it makes a huge impact. People feel valued when you take the time to hear them out, and in turn, they're more likely to show you respect as well. It's not just about waiting for your turn to speak, but about really understanding what the other person is saying. Respect often starts with the simple act of giving someone your full attention. Another important part of being respectful is learning to disagree without being disagreeable. We're not always going to see eye to eye with everyone, and that's okay. But how we handle those disagreements speaks volumes. You can stand your ground and stick to your beliefs without being rude or dismissive. It's all about how you communicate. The Stoics were masters at this. They believed in standing firm in their principles, but doing so with calmness and reason. Next time you find yourself in a disagreement, try to remain calm and focus on the issue, not the person. You'll find that respect can diffuse tension and lead to more productive conversations. Respect also shows up in the little things, being on time, acknowledging someone's effort, or even just saying thank you. These small gestures might seem insignificant, but they add up. They show that you value the other person's time, energy, and contributions. And here's the kicker: respect is a two-way street. When you treat others with respect, you create an environment where they're more likely to return that respect. It's a powerful way to build stronger, healthier relationships in both your personal and professional life. But remember, respect isn't about people-pleasing or being a pushover. It doesn't mean you allow others to disrespect you or trample over your boundaries. You can be firm and assertive while still being respectful. In fact, part of respecting others is also respecting yourself. Knowing when to stand up for yourself, when to set boundaries, and when to walk away from toxic situations. The Stoics believed in balance, and that includes balancing kindness and respect for others with self-respect. So, as you go through your day, look for opportunities to show respect in both big and small ways. Whether it's listening more attentively, showing up on time, or simply being polite in a difficult conversation, these acts of respect not only improve your relationships, but also make you a stronger, more grounded person. Stoicism teaches us that we're all part of a larger community, and when we respect one another, we help strengthen the bonds that keep us connected. In the end, being respectful of everyone isn't just about them. It's about creating a better, more thoughtful version of yourself. Strategy 10. Set clear parameters. Setting boundaries, or parameters, is all about knowing where your limits are and making sure others understand them too. It's easy to get caught up in trying to please everyone or overextending yourself, but without clear boundaries, you'll eventually burn out. Stoicism teaches us the importance of protecting our inner peace and focusing on what we can control. And setting clear parameters is one of the best ways to maintain that sense of control. The first step is knowing your own limits. What are you comfortable with? What are your non-negotiables? Maybe it's about how much time you spend on work, how you expect to be treated in relationships, or even simple things like not checking emails after a certain hour. Knowing your limits helps you stay aligned with your values and prevents you from taking on more than you can handle. It's about creating space for yourself to thrive, not just survive. And let's be honest, if you don't set boundaries, people will naturally push them, often without realizing it. Communicating those boundaries is key. You can't expect people to know where your lines are if you don't tell them, whether it's a work situation, a friendship, or a family dynamic. Be clear about what you're okay with and what you're not. And here's the thing. You don't have to explain or justify your boundaries. A simple, respectful no or "this doesn't work for me" is enough. When you communicate your parameters clearly, you're not being rude. You're being respectful of your own needs and energy. And most people will respect you for being upfront, even if it feels a little uncomfortable at first. One of the hardest parts of setting clear parameters is consistency. You've got to stick to the boundaries you set, or they won't mean much. If you're constantly shifting your boundaries, saying yes to things you don't want to do, or letting people cross lines you've set, it not only confuses others, but it also erodes your own sense of control. Consistency builds trust, both with yourself and with others. When you hold firm on your boundaries, people know where you stand, and over time they'll learn to respect those limits. It's not about being rigid, it's about being reliable and true to your own values. Remember, boundaries go both ways. Just as you want others to respect your limits, it's important to respect theirs too. We all have different comfort zones and capacities, and recognizing that in others helps to build stronger, healthier relationships. This mutual respect is what creates balanced, positive interactions with the people around you. And don't forget, saying no isn't selfish, it's self-care. Sometimes we feel guilty for setting boundaries, especially if it means disappointing someone. But Stoicism reminds us that we can't control how others react. We can only control our actions. If setting a boundary makes you feel more at peace, more focused, or more in line with your priorities, then it's the right decision, regardless of how others might feel about it in the moment. In the long run, everyone benefits when you're clear about what you can and can't do. You're less likely to overcommit, feel overwhelmed, or harbor resentment, and that makes you more present and effective in the things you do say yes to. So here's the takeaway. Boundaries aren't walls that shut people out. They're guidelines that help you protect your time, energy, and peace of mind. They allow you to give your best self to the people and projects that truly matter. Start by identifying one area of your life where you need to set clearer parameters and take action. It could be as simple as not checking work emails after a certain time, or as big as establishing boundaries in a challenging relationship. Whatever it is, make sure it reflects your values and priorities, and don't be afraid to enforce it. In the end, setting clear parameters is one of the best ways to show respect for yourself and others. Strategy 11. Cut out negative energy. This might be one of the most important things you can do to level up your life. Negative energy can come from many sources: people, habits, environments, even your own thoughts. And if you're not careful, it can drain you faster than anything else. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of the things that don't serve us. Cutting out negative energy is about reclaiming your mental space and creating room for positivity, growth, and resilience. Start by taking a good, honest look at the people around you. Who lifts you up? Who drains you? Sometimes we hold on to relationships out of obligation or habit, but if someone is constantly bringing negativity into your life, it might be time to reevaluate how much access they have to your energy. This doesn't mean you need to cut people out completely, but you can set boundaries or limit your contact with those who aren't adding value to your life. The Stoics were all about quality over quantity when it came to relationships. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you in a positive way, and support your growth. But negative energy isn't just about other people. It can also come from within. Pay attention to your self-talk. Are you constantly doubting yourself, criticizing your actions, or expecting the worst? That's negative energy too. One of the most powerful things you can do is challenge those negative thoughts when they pop up. Flip the script. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, shift your focus to what could go right. Remind yourself of your strengths and be mindful of the language you use with yourself. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of controlling our internal world, and that starts with recognizing and reworking those negative thought patterns. Another source of negative energy can be your environment. Take a look around. Does your space make you feel calm and productive, or is it cluttered and chaotic? Sometimes a messy or disorganized environment can contribute to stress and negative feelings without us even realizing it. Decluttering your physical space can help clear your mind too. Create an environment that reflects the energy you want to bring into your life. Even small changes, like cleaning up your workspace or organizing your home, can make a big difference in how you feel every day. And then there are the habits. Negative energy loves to hide in time-wasting activities and unhealthy routines. The Stoics believed that the quality of your life is directly tied to your ability to manage what's within your control. Negative energy might not always be something you can avoid, but how you deal with it is completely up to you. By cutting out what doesn't serve you, you free up your energy to focus on what truly matters. So, take a moment to reflect. What's the biggest source of negative energy in your life right now, and what can you do to start cutting it out? Remember, small steps lead to big changes, and by removing negativity, you're making room for a more focused, fulfilling life. Before we wrap up, remember this: Your life is shaped by what you allow and what you cut out, lives, which are often accompanied by noise and hurry. Stoicism offers a way to find inner peace, self-control, and mental toughness. It is firm and immovable like a rock. Mastering the art of letting go is the first thing we need to do on this road. You will learn not only how to tell the difference between things you can control and things you can't, but also how to let go of the things you can't control. We can clear out our inner and outer worlds through stoicism and minimalism, making room for more meaningful activities. Making room in our lives for what really counts is the first step. The next step is to strengthen our willpower. Building self-discipline is the Stoic way to become great. It's about developing values, controlling your urges, and living a life that doesn't follow society's ever-changing whims, but instead follows unchanging principles that make you happy. Now that we are focused, we face the problems in life head-on. That's where the mind that can't be broken comes in. We're going to talk about 10 strong lessons that will give you the mental toughness you need to get through life's big waves. Being optimistic isn't the point. The point is to build strong mental models that help you stay strong when things go wrong. Last but not least, get ready to free your mind. You will learn 10 life-changing lessons from Stoicism that will help you break free from the limits you put on yourself. You can take control of your emotions and actions and drastically improve the quality of your life if you know how to pull the right mental buttons. You can become impervious to the chaos of the outside world by following the Stoic advice we'll discuss today. It gives you a peace and happiness that nothing outside of yourself can take away. It's a trip to learn the art of living a life full of virtue, knowledge, and unbreakable strength. Now, take a deep breath. Prepare to learn, feel more confident, and gain freedom as we explore the modern-day Stoics' knowledge. What if you woke up in a peaceful place where everything you own has a place and a purpose? Your heart is happy and your mind is clear. You know that the only things you can control are your thoughts and deeds, so you can face the storms of life with a strong heart. It's not impossible to reach these seemingly impossible goals. In fact, the way to a meaningful life is at the heart of both minimalism and Stoicism, two philosophies that were created hundreds of years apart. Welcome to Minimalism and Stoicism, letting go for a meaningful life. In this video, we'll start a journey that will help you find a life that you not only live, but also love. First, let's talk about the growing modern minimalist trend. Minimalism is more than just a style, it's a way of life. It's about getting rid of the things that aren't important, the junk that makes our thoughts and places heavy, and focused on the things that make our lives better. Minimalism started as an art trend that emphasized realism and simplicity in the middle of the 20th century. Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus, three Stoic philosophers, taught us that what makes us happy is not what is happening around us, but rather our perceptions and responses to it. Letting go is what connects minimalism and Stoicism. Minimalism tells us to get rid of unnecessary things in our bodies, and Stoicism teaches us how to let go of mental loads and ties. Both philosophies are based on the idea that there is freedom in simplicity and separation, which means freedom to live a meaningful, happy life. We will learn a lot about the subtleties of both minimalism and Stoicism in this film. We'll talk about where they came from, what they stand for, and how they can improve people's lives. We will also talk about how to apply these philosophies to our everyday lives and compare and contrast them. For example, case studies and anecdotes will show us how these ideas have changed the lives of real people. Finally, we will talk about what we have learned and encourage you to start using parts of minimalism and Stoicism that work for you. As we begin this illuminating trip through the worlds of minimalism and Stoicism, Get ready to have your ideas about what it means to live a fulfilling life challenged. To live a meaningful life, you need to plan ahead, be good, and be brave enough to let go of what isn't important. Let's go down this road together. Now, let's get into the first part of our conversation, which is about what minimalism is. The minimalist movement as we know it today did not start by itself. Like many other art forms that came out in the late 1950s and early 1960s, it has its roots in music and visual arts. It was not thought that art had to be complicated in order to be meaningful, so these types of art focused on using simple things. As time went on, this idea changed into living minimalism. People started to question the consumerist culture that ruled society in the early 2000s, which is when minimalism became popular as a way of life. They wanted a life that was less complicated and more meaningful, without all the things that come with it. This is where the modern minimalist movement got its start. It's a reaction to the excesses of capitalism and the search for happiness beyond material wealth. The fundamental principles that underpin minimalism will now be discussed in greater detail. To begin with, minimalism is all about making things easier. It means getting rid of the extra, the pointless, and the annoying things so that you can focus on what really counts. This could mean getting rid of junk in your house, making your schedule more manageable, or even cutting back on social media. Making a space in your mind and body that shows your values and priorities is what it's all about. This is the second core principle, being mindful. Making choices about what to keep and what to let go of is an important part of minimalism. The environmental impact of minimalism is also favorable. Our carbon impact gets smaller when we use less. Making and throwing away things are two of the main things that hurt the earth. We are not only making our own lives better when we choose to live with less and make decisions that are good for the world when we do so. As with any trend, though, minimalism has its share of bad press and misunderstandings. One complaint that is often made is that being able to choose to live with less is a luxury that not everyone can enjoy. Some people also say that minimalism can turn into another form of consumerism if people keep buying new minimalist things to replace the ones they already have. Some people also think that minimalism means living with very little, or that it's an answer that works for everyone. It's important to remember that minimalism is not a rule, but a tool. This is a way to make a life that fits your values and priorities, and can be changed to fit your needs and tastes. Although these complaints are important to look at, it is important to remember that minimalism is not a goal. Instead, it is a process of self-discovery and purpose. It's not a rigid set of rules, but a philosophy that can be changed to fit different wants and ways of life. Minimalism doesn't expect us to be perfect. Instead, it pushes us to make progress and be aware of the choices we make. In the same way, minimalism shouldn't just be seen as an advantage. The core principles of purpose and focusing on quality over number can be motivating for people from all social groups, even though some parts of minimalism may be easier to adopt for those in a more stable financial situation. It can be about making the most of what you have and being happy with simplicity, no matter how many things you have. To clear up the false idea that minimalism means living a simple or poor life, it is also important to note that minimalism is not always about having a certain number of things. Finding what is meaningful and getting rid of what isn't is what it's all about. Stoicism teaches us to separate ourselves from the chaos and look at things objectively through the lens of reason when we are confronted with difficulties. By doing this, we can keep our emotions from getting in the way of our decisions and act in a way that is consistent with our values. It tells us to look at problems not as bad things that happen, but as chances to learn and grow. Let's jump ahead to the present day. Even though it's an old philosophy, its ideas are still relevant today. Stoicism gives us a way to find our way through the storms in a world that is becoming more unstable and unsure. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a popular way to help mental health problems. Its focus on reason and control over responses is similar to this theory. Leaders in the business world are also using Stoic principles to make smart choices and build resilience in their teams. This philosophy gives people who are interested in personal growth tools they can use to strengthen their minds and live purposeful, honest lives. Practices like writing, awareness, and self-reflection that encourage living in line with one's values are becoming part of everyday life. Stoicism is a philosophy that dates back to old Greece and Rome. It enables people to lead lives of happiness and moral integrity thanks to its central principles of reason, control over responses, and desire of virtue. It can be used as a guide in a world that is always changing, from the lessons of Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius to current psychology and leadership. As we learn more about Stoicism, it's important to remember that it's more than just a set of logical thoughts. It's a call to action. The message tells us to develop a smart and good mind, to know what we can control and let go of what we can't, and to see problems as chances to grow as people. This is a call to live wisely, as well as with thought. After going into great detail about Stoic philosophy, we now come to an interesting point where minimalism and Stoicism meet. Although they came about at different times and in different situations, both philosophies are based on the idea of letting go of things that are too much, whether they are material things or mental constructs, and finding a life that is meaningful, happy, and in line with our values. In the next sections, we'll look at how these two philosophies work together and how they differ, as well as how they can be used in our daily lives. We will talk about how the knowledge and virtue of Stoicism can be added to the purpose and simplicity of minimalism. These philosophies can work together to create a strong foundation for a life that is not only clear and strong, but also deeply meaningful. With an open mind and a desire to learn, let us start this journey of discovery. We should be ready to question our beliefs, break out of old habits, and accept new ways of doing things. The ideas of minimalism and Stoicism invite us to go on a trip that is both about letting go and finding out what is really important to hold on to. This journey isn't just about ideas, it's also very emotional. We are all being asked to think about the choices we are making, the lives we are living, and the values we are supporting. It's a call to let go of what's extra and choose what's important, to stop the noise and choose knowledge, to let go of what's temporary and choose what will last forever. Together, let us follow the path of minimalism and Stoicism to a life that is not just lived but loved, not just endured but honored, and not just short but meaningful. At one point, Stoicism and minimalism stand next to each other as we walk the road of discovery. Though they came out hundreds of years apart, these two strong philosophies have a lot in common as well as clear differences. Now, let's take a close look at the tapestry they've made. Let's start with what they have in common. In the first place, both stress the importance of seeking simplicity and focus. Minimalism tells us to make our lives easier by getting rid of unnecessary things and clearing out our places. When it comes to our inner lives, Stoicism tells us to keep things simple by being reasonable and focused on what we can control. In both philosophies, we are told to get rid of what isn't important so that we can focus on what does. The second thing they have in common is getting rid of extra. In the philosophy of minimalism, this means getting rid of things that don't make our lives better. Stoicism is about letting go of excessive desires, emotions, and ties that obstruct our pursuit of virtue and cloud our judgment. Both philosophies agree that too much, whether it's physical waste or mental chaos, can get in the way of living a happy life. The third thing they have in common is that they both stress being happy inside. The idea of minimalism teaches us that happiness doesn't come from having more things, but from living a life with meaning. Stoicism, on the other hand, holds that happiness comes from living in harmony with nature and reason, not from receiving praise or money from other people. Let's take with us the core of Stoicism's call to knowledge and minimalism's call to simplicity as we move forward. Let's be like builders and carefully plan a life that meets our deepest needs for meaning and happiness. Even though the two philosophies come from different places and have different goals, they both aim to help us live a life that is simple and full of what's important. Minimalism tells us to clean up the outside world, and Stoicism pushes us to control the inside world. The Stoic philosophy gives us a deep understanding of what it means to be human and how we are connected to and a part of the world. When things happen that are out of our control, we should focus on what we can do, like adopting principles like understanding, self-control, and fairness. The way of Stoicism leads to a life of moral purity, change, and personal growth. In the year 165 AD, people living by the Stoic philosophy reached their highest level of devotion during the Antonine Plague, which killed a lot of people in the Roman Empire. It destroyed the land, took many lives, and caused fear and chaos in the Roman Empire, which resulted in one of the worst depressions in history. During this crisis, Emperor Marcus Aurelius showed amazing leadership skills by blending his unshakable determination with the deep lessons of the Stoic philosophy. He got through the plague by using the Stoic way of thinking, which gave his people security, courage, and hope. The Antonine Plague, which was thought to be an attack of smallpox or measles, hit the Roman Empire with a force that had never been seen before. The plague quickly spread, destroying the empire's social and economic order and making the people afraid because of the chaos and doubt it caused. As a leader, Aurelius saw how important it was to have a way to guide people through this time of chaos and turned to the Stoic philosophy. He looked inside himself for knowledge and strength to help him face the task. Aurelius followed the practice of Stoicism, which says that you should accept the difficulties of life and stay good even when things go wrong. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Seneca taught him that virtue alone is enough to make someone happy. He also learned that real happiness and power come from inside a person, not from their surroundings. By facing the facts about the plague, Aurelius built up his strength and refused to let fear take over. Instead, he concentrated on his own personality and how he dealt with the problem, which were under his control. Marcus Aurelius set a good example by living by the Stoic values he believed in. He showed unshakable courage and strength by staying strong even when he was going through terrible things and huge problems. Even though it put his health at constant risk, he worked hard to meet the needs of his people, showing understanding and kindness through his actions. He told his people to be strong and find peace within themselves. There was a lot going on in his life, but Stoicism helped him find meaning and purpose. He knew that the plague was a chance to improve himself and help others get stronger. The situation acted as a warning of how short life is and how important it is to live virtuously. Through thinking about how life is temporary, Aurelius told his people to enjoy every moment, put virtue above financial gain, and learn to be thankful even when things are bad. The Roman Empire was strengthened and comforted by Aurelius's use of Stoic philosophy, despite the Antonine Plague's severe suffering. His guidance and strength made it possible for the kingdom to eventually recover and be restored. Today, the lessons of Stoicism that Aurelius taught us are still relevant because they remind us of the strength of the human spirit and the ability to find inner peace even in the worst situations. The worst time for the Roman Empire was during the Antonine Plague. Marcus Aurelius turned to the timeless knowledge of Stoic philosophy when he was faced with this terrible problem. With courage, strength, and knowledge, he led his people through the storm and helped them rebuild their lives. The Stoic way of thinking gives us hope by telling us that even in the worst situations, people can rise above their problems, hold on to hope, and win. Stoic lessons have stayed useful over the years and continue to give smart advice to people who want to figure out how to deal with the complicated things in life. It focuses on resilience, self-discipline, and other traits that give people useful tools for dealing with everyday problems, getting through hard times, and finding meaning in a world that is always changing and becoming more complicated. We will look at some important principles that can help us evaluate our lives, as well as the lessons of famous Stoic philosophers that can help us use the idea of Stoicism in real life. We can start a life-changing journey towards self-discovery, inner peace, and living a happy life by learning about Stoic philosophy. As you know, Marcus Aurelius, who was a famous and important philosopher, fully accepted Stoicism as his driving principle and lived his life according to its rules. Stoicism, which has its roots in ancient Greece and gained popularity during the Roman era, emphasizes the development of virtue and fortitude in the face of difficulties. The goal of self-mastery through self-control and discipline is at the heart of this philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, the respected Roman emperor, was the personification of Stoicism. He lived by its lessons and used them to handle the challenges of his life with unshakable strength and knowledge. Stoicism encourages people to find their inner powers and become more resilient. It also suggests that people improve their moral character by exercising moderation and using knowledge to make sure that everyone is treated fairly. The importance of resilience in dealing with hardship was also recognized by Stoic philosophers. Stoic principles give people the power to take control of their minds and, as a result, their ideas, emotions, and actions, which are always in line with their values and goals. At its core, Stoicism provides a complete framework for personal improvement and the desire of a good and strong life. Although we can control our emotions, thoughts, and actions, events and occurrences may be outside of our control. Humans are typically emotional beings. At its heart is this idea of Stoicism. As Marcus Aurelius put it, real power comes from being able to control your own thoughts and actions. We can get to this level of inner strength by working on our self-discipline. Marcus Aurelius said in his famous book Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote sums up the Stoic idea that we should focus our energy on controlling our thoughts and emotions rather than letting outside events dictate how we feel inside. During their reigns, great leaders often faced the hardest problems. Marcus Aurelius, as ruler of Rome, was no different. During his time in office, he faced many difficult problems and failures that tested his strength and determination. As Emperor of Rome, Aurelius had to deal with many difficult situations that required all of his attention and smart thinking. The Roman Empire was in danger of losing its security and wealth because of things like civil unrest, war battles, and unstable economies. Despite these problems, he faced them with unshakable resolve and a dedication to the well-being of his people. During his rule, Aurelius showed an unmatched ability to bounce back from losses. He knew that being a leader meant sticking with things even when they got tough. He never gave up on finding answers that would protect the empire's well-being, even when it meant losing battles or dealing with problems within the empire. His leading style was marked by his ability to keep going even when things went wrong. In addition, his spiritual beliefs, especially his practice of Stoicism, helped him a great deal when things were hard. Stoicism taught him to see problems as chances to grow and to keep his sense of right and wrong even when things went wrong. It stressed getting stronger on the inside and being okay with things that are out of your control. By using Stoic principles in his leadership style, Aurelius was able to deal with failures in a historical way, which made him strong and motivated the people around him. Despite the huge problems he had to deal with, he stayed committed to the well-being of his people. His dedication to good government and the search for justice was a driving force during his rule. Taking action to handle the worries of his people, he made changes to improve living conditions and promote the empire's overall well-being. Marcus's personal life was a great example of how well he could keep himself disciplined. Marcus was found to be humble and aware of how temporary power and material things are, even when he was emperor. Meditations and thoughts that led to constant self-improvement while seeking knowledge were important parts of Marcus's personal life. He was also a man of great character, which helped him make choices and act in certain ways. Aurelius rose to power as a leader of great strength and intelligence, leaving a record of bravery and kindness that will last for generations. As Marcus Aurelius showed, the world is still learning about Stoic principles. To develop self-discipline in our lives right now, we can use some of these same principles. Being consistent and judging yourself are two very useful ways to practice self-discipline. We can make it a habit to think about our values and life purpose every morning, just like Marcus Aurelius did. This will help us see how our actions and words match up with those things. The physical discipline of daily exercise not only improves our physical health, but also makes our minds stronger. Marcus understood the deep link between the mind and body and stressed how important it was to take care of both. Being mindful is another powerful way to develop self-discipline. We can better control our feelings and make smart decisions if we train ourselves to be fully present in every moment. One of the ideas behind Stoicism is to be thankful and try to be calm. Marcus Aurelius thought that noticing the wonderful and beautiful things in life, even when things are hard, can make you stronger and more resilient. We can become more firm in character by practicing thanks every day and keeping things in perspective. Last but not least, Stoic philosophy places a high value on society and relationship. Marcus felt that working together and helping other people become more self-disciplined could be very helpful. The Marcus Aurelius principles would need to be applied in order to take a critical look at Stoic philosophy as it relates to developing self-discipline in the modern world. Marcus Aurelius wrote a lot about how important it is to have control over your mind, which is the first thing to think about. During the meditation, he talked about how the quality of our lives is linked to the way we think and how important it is to exercise control over our thoughts. Marcus Aurelius thought that the only way to really be powerful was to be able to control our own minds and choose what we think. Marcus Aurelius said that our perceptions, emotions, and behaviors are shaped by the ideas we have. He understood that pain and the ability to live fulfilling lives can be caused by negative or useless thoughts. Because of this, he pushed for the practice of mindfulness and self-awareness, telling people to become aware of their thought processes and actively fight against false beliefs. To control our thinking, we need to be disciplined and alert all the time. It means asking the truth of our thoughts, changing the way we think about bad stories, and picking more positive points of view. To live a more fulfilling life, we can match our ideas with Stoic principles and have an inner conversation that is based on reason and ethics. Writing in a diary was a useful skill that Marcus Aurelius used. He looked at his thoughts and emotions every day, reflecting and introspecting to try to figure out where they came from and what impact they had. This practice helped him notice trends in the way he thought and change his ideas in a way that led to better ones. Marcus Aurelius thought that we could become stronger in the face of hardship by controlling our thinking. He understood that we can't control what happens in the outside world, but we can choose how to react to it. Whatever is going on, we can find inner peace and strength by actively focusing our thoughts on things like thanks, acceptance, and virtue. Practicing controlling our thinking is still useful and important in the current world. Being aware of our thought habits, getting rid of negative thoughts, and building positive perceptions are all skills we need to improve our health, endurance, and ability to handle life's obstacles with ease. Second, Stoic philosophy stresses the significance of taking what is outside of our control and refocusing on what we can change, our actions and attitudes. Stoics think that worrying about things we can't change causes us needless stress and anger. They instead say we should focus our energy on things we can change, like our own decisions, actions, and attitudes. We can be more flexible and keep our peace of mind if we accept that change and uncertainty are going to happen. When we look at the Stoic principle with a critical eye, it shows that our biggest power is the people we can affect. Focusing on what we can change and taking acts that are in line with our values are things we need to work on growing. Third, Marcus thought it was important to make plans and objectives that were in line with our values. To become self-disciplined, you need to have a clear calling, goal, and life purpose. We make good decisions and take good action when we know our values and make sure they are in line with our goals. Setting goals based on our values helps us figure out what's most important to us and gives us direction as we face the challenges of life. In line with our true selves, it helps us make choices and decisions that give us a sense of dignity and satisfaction in our purpose. We can focus our efforts and actions on self-discipline and personal growth by making our purpose clear and setting meaningful goals. Thanks a lot. Marcus Aurelius said that learning self-control is one of the most important parts of becoming self-disciplined. In order to develop inner strength and achieve personal growth, he thought, we must exercise control over our desires, urges, and emotions. Self-control helps us learn to wait for what we want, say no to temptations, and make decisions that are in line with our values and long-term goals. Self-control, according to Marcus Aurelius, is not about denying ourselves joy. Instead, it's about making choices that will bring you more happiness and help you grow as a person over time. By controlling ourselves, we boost our willpower and become more dedicated to our self-discipline road. Marcus pointed out that building up resiliency is an important part of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism teaches us to not be afraid of the problems and failures that come up in life, seeing them as chances to learn and grow. In this case, resilience means being able to deal with problems and difficulties while still feeling strong and stable inside. Marcus says that an attitude that accepts that life changes and is unpredictable helps people be resilient. Stoics know that we can't change the things that happen to us outside of our control, but we can change how we react inside of ourselves. When we accept that things will change and that the world is unsure, we build up inner strength that lets us handle the storm with strength and calm. In Stoicism, being resilient also means seeing losses and mistakes as opportunities to grow as a person. Stoics see challenges as chances to put traits like courage, determination, and patience into practice rather than as barriers to overcome. We build the strength to handle life's ups and downs by accepting difficulties as part of our journey. When we focus on the things we can control, we can focus our attention on them and feel better about ourselves. We become more resilient when we don't let outside events control how we feel. We can keep our inner peace and calm even when bad things happen because we are resilient. In Stoic philosophy, building resilience entails accepting life's flaws, seeing setbacks as chances to grow, and concentrating on what we can control. Before we end this video, let's look at 3 important lessons from Marcus Aurelius's most important work, Meditations, that can help us become more self-disciplined and understand how important it is to live a good and fulfilling life. The power of the present moment is the first lesson. Marcus Aurelius said in Meditations, "Do not bother yourself by picturing your life as a whole. Do not load into your mind the many and varied troubles that have come to you in the past and will come again in the future. But ask yourself, with each present difficulty, what is there in this that is unbearable and beyond endurance?" This quote sums up what it means to be in the present moment. Often, we can't be self-disciplined because our thoughts are filled with regrets from the past or worries about the future. Aurelius shows us how important it is to focus on the present moment. By doing so, we can break down seemingly overwhelming tasks into doable pieces and practice control and discipline in our instant actions. This focus on the present moment is a cornerstone of self-discipline, allowing us to take meaningful and virtuous actions without being overwhelmed. Lesson 2. Separation from outward approval. Marcus Aurelius was very aware of how short-lived fame and other people's opinions were. He wrote, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinions of himself than on the opinions of others." This observation highlights the human tendency to seek validation and approval from the outside world, often at the expense of our own values and integrity. Self-discipline, as Aurelius suggests, needs a separation from this outward reinforcement. Instead, we must focus on cultivating inner virtues and following our moral compass. This inner-directed focus enables us to make decisions and take actions that are in alignment with our values, rather than being swayed by the ever-changing opinions of others. It helps us to build a strong foundation of self-discipline, which is grounded in self-respect and personal integrity. Lesson 3. Adaptability and acceptance. One of the most celebrated quotes from Meditations is, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This quote is the epitome of adaptability and acceptance, 2 traits closely associated with self-discipline. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that obstacles and challenges are not just to be endured, but can be transformed into opportunities for growth and learning. Self-discipline involves the ability to adapt our actions and attitudes in response to the challenges we face. Instead of resisting or lamenting the difficulties, we can embrace them as opportunities to exercise virtue, to learn, and to grow. This mindset not only helps in building self-discipline, but also in fostering resilience and a deep sense of contentment. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations offer a treasure trove of wisdom for building self-discipline. Through focusing on the present moment, detaching from external validation, and embracing adaptability and acceptance, we can cultivate a form of self-discipline that is deeply grounded in wisdom and virtue. This self-discipline is not just about control, but about living a life of purpose, meaning, and fulfillment, regardless of the external circumstances. By embracing the core principles of Stoicism, self-mastery, acceptance, and resilience, we have the potential to cultivate self-discipline in our modern lives. Self-mastery, as Marcus Aurelius believed, starts with gaining control over our thoughts and emotions. By actively observing and guiding our inner world, we can shape our responses to external events and maintain a sense of composure and clarity. Acceptance is another crucial element of building self-discipline. Developing resilience, as espoused by Aurelius, is cultivated by reframing setbacks as opportunities for growth. By viewing obstacles as stepping stones on our journey, we can develop the strength and perseverance necessary to face adversity with unwavering determination. Resilience also involves maintaining a sense of inner peace and stability, even when circumstances are chaotic or unfavorable. To build self-discipline, we can incorporate practical strategies inspired by Aurelius into our lives. By establishing consistent routines, engaging in physical discipline, practicing mindfulness, expressing gratitude, and fostering communal support, all contribute to our growth and development. Ultimately, living a more disciplined and fulfilling life can be achieved by following the Marcus Aurelius principles. We can develop the strength and fortitude to navigate through life's challenges with self-control. As we stand at the crossroads of history and philosophy, the figure of Marcus Aurelius towers above, casting a long shadow that has weathered the sands of time. In a world that is often chaotic and ever-changing, the importance of self-discipline becomes a beacon, a guiding light that can lead us through the storm. Through the lens of Aurelius and historic teachings, self-discipline is not a mere trait, but an art of living. Self-discipline is the compass by which we navigate the seas of life. It is the anchor that holds us steady amid tempests and the sails that propel us forward. Through self-discipline, we attain mastery over ourselves, which in turn begets a deeper understanding and engagement with the world around us. Thanks a lot. The life and philosophy of Marcus Aurelius serve as a testament to the transformative power of self-discipline. In this constantly interconnected world, where distractions are incessant and information is ceaseless, we need self-discipline now more than ever. It is through self-discipline that we can filter out the noise and focus on what truly matters. It is through self-discipline that we can be true to our values and principles and act not on impulse, but with deliberation and wisdom. What is particularly astonishing is how Marcus Aurelius, an emperor who lived nearly 2 millennia ago, could grapple with many of the same challenges and inner conflicts that we face today. This illuminates a profound truth. The human experience at its core is unchanging. Our fears, aspirations, dilemmas, and yearnings weave a common thread through the tapestry of time, and it is in this tapestry that the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius finds its enduring resonance. We live in an age of unprecedented opportunities and possibilities. Yet, with these opportunities come challenges and responsibilities. The Stoic wisdom of Marcus Aurelius equips us with the mental fortitude to embrace these challenges, to wield them not as burdens, but as catalysts for growth and self-realization. As we conclude this video, let us reflect on the magnitude of our potential. Each one of us, in our own unique way, can be a philosopher, a seeker of truth, and a bearer of wisdom. Let the words of Marcus Aurelius be a reminder of the indomitable spirit that resides within each of us. Let his stoic resolve inspire us to build our reservoir of self-discipline. As we forge ahead on our respective journeys, let us carry with us the knowledge that self-discipline is not an end, but a means to lead lives of purpose, integrity, and fulfillment. Let us remember that in the grand theatre of existence, we are both the playwright and the protagonist. Through self-discipline, we can pen epics of triumph, odes to joy, and ballads of resilience within the vast chronicles of history. Let the chapters we author be woven with threads of wisdom. Let each page be steeped in purpose, and let the ink that flows from our quills be that of self-discipline. With Marcus Aurelius as our steadfast sentinel, guiding us from the revered corridors of antiquity, let us march ahead with our gazes fixed firmly on the horizon and our hearts ablaze with the boundless figure of possibility. Thanks a lot. It is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them. Epictetus. Imagine a world where external events no longer dictate your happiness, where you have complete control over your emotions, and where you can find peace in the midst of chaos. Welcome to the world of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has guided countless individuals towards personal growth and fulfillment for centuries. At the heart of this philosophy lies the wisdom of Epictetus, a former slave-turned-philosopher who transformed his life through the power of Stoic thought. Today, we'll dive into the teachings of this extraordinary man and uncover the top 10 lessons from his renowned work, the Enchiridion. Epictetus was born in Phrygia, present-day Turkey, around 50 AD. Despite being born into slavery, he rose above his circumstances and became one of the most influential Stoic philosophers of all time. As a slave, he was owned by a high-ranking Roman official who recognized his intellectual potential and allowed him to study philosophy. Epictetus eventually became a student of the philosopher Musonius Rufus, who was a prominent Stoic teacher in Rome. After gaining his freedom, he began teaching philosophy in Rome, where his reputation quickly grew. However, when the Roman Emperor Domitian expelled all philosophers from Rome in 89 AD, Epictetus was forced to flee. He found refuge in Nicopolis, Greece, where he established a philosophical school that attracted students from across the Roman Empire. His teachings were recorded by one of his students, Arrian, who compiled them into two main works, the Discourses and the Enchiridion. The Enchiridion, also known as the Handbook or Manual, is a concise collection of Epictetus's most essential teachings. It is a practical guide to living a virtuous life, providing valuable insights on how to navigate the challenges and uncertainties of our existence.
Good morning. Imagine waking up every day with a clear mind, focused energy, and a purpose that drives you forward. What if you could adopt a simple routine inspired by ancient wisdom that transforms your mornings and sets you up for success? Welcome to the Stoic Morning Routine, 12 powerful habits that will change the way you start your day. The first thing to do every morning is to reflect on what you're grateful for. It could be as simple as the roof over your head, the food in your kitchen, or the people in your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have, fostering contentment and resilience. Before diving into the noise of the day, take a few moments of silence. Whether through meditation, prayer, or simply sitting still, this practice grounds your mind and helps you approach the day calmly and with clarity. It might sound heavy, but reflecting on mortality, known in Stoicism as memento mori, or the practice of remembering that life is finite, is not about dwelling on fear or sadness. Instead, it's a powerful reminder of the precious and fleeting nature of time. When we recognize that each moment is irreplaceable, it inspires us to live with intention and clarity. When you start your day by reflecting on this, it sets the tone for mindful living. Ask yourself, if today were my last, how would I spend it? What would I focus on? This practice empowers you to seize the day, avoid distractions, and focus on what brings joy and fulfillment. Remember, acknowledging mortality isn't about sadness. It's about clarity, gratitude, and living with purpose. Use this awareness to fuel purpose and gratitude. Begin your morning by reflecting on what truly matters. Ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do today that will bring the most meaning to my life? This question helps cut through the noise and identify your true priorities. Once you have clarity, align your actions with your purpose and values. Focus your energy on what will move you closer to your goals, rather than scattering it across distractions. Remember, every action you take either builds your future or delays it. By starting with intention, you create a day filled with purpose and direction. Success begins with choosing what's meaningful over what's urgent. Start your day with the power of mindful breathing. Take a few slow, deep breaths, inhaling through your nose and exhaling gently through your mouth. Feel the fresh oxygen filling your lungs, invigorating your body and calming your mind. This simple practice not only awakens your senses, but also helps reduce stress and tension. With each breath, you're bringing clarity and focus to your thoughts. It's a natural way to reset and prepare yourself for the challenges ahead. Breathing deeply energizes your system, enhances concentration, and creates a sense of balance. It's a small habit with a big impact. Begin your day centered and ready to take on anything that comes your way. Supercharge your morning with movement that awakens your body and sharpens your mind. Whether it's stretching, yoga, or a quick workout, this powerful ritual energizes you from the inside out. Feel your muscles come alive as blood flows freely, fueling your brain and sparking focus. Let tension melt away, your flexibility improve, and your confidence rise with every move. A brisk session floods your body with feel-good endorphins, boosting your mood and igniting your energy. It's not just exercise, it's a reset for your entire system. Just 10 minutes of intentional movement can transform your day. Remember, a vibrant body fuels a vibrant mind. Get moving and own the day ahead. Spend a few quiet minutes reading something uplifting, whether it's a powerful passage from Marcus Aurelius' Meditations or a thought-provoking quote that sparks reflection. These words of wisdom act as a guide, offering clarity and insight to anchor your day. They challenge your thinking, ignite your curiosity, and connect you to timeless ideas that transcend daily distractions. Reading something profound in the morning helps you approach life with a broader perspective and a calmer, more focused mindset. It's like fuel for your inner fire, reminding you of your values and purpose. Just a few lines can plant seeds of growth and resilience in your mind. Make this a non-negotiable part of your routine and watch how it elevates your thoughts, decisions, and actions. Start your day inspired and carry that energy with you everywhere you go. Prepare yourself for the day by redefining how you see challenges. Instead of viewing obstacles as roadblocks, see them as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Every difficulty carries a hidden lesson waiting to be uncovered. This mindset shift transforms setbacks into stepping stones, turning frustration into fuel for progress. When you approach challenges with curiosity and determination, you build resilience and mental strength. Obstacles are not here to stop you. They're here to shape you. Each one is a chance to develop patience, adaptability, and perseverance. Remember, the greatest growth often comes from the toughest battles. Embrace the unexpected, learn from it, and rise above it. By shifting your perspective, you'll not only overcome challenges, you'll thrive because of them. The power to transform struggle into strength is already within you. Each obstacle is an opportunity to prove to yourself what you're capable of. Face the unexpected with courage, curiosity, and confidence. Learn from every struggle, adapt to every curveball, and keep moving forward. By mastering this mindset, you turn life's challenges into stepping stones for success. The power to transform struggle into strength is already within you. Use it. Start your day with intention, not overwhelm. Too often, we overload ourselves with endless to-do lists, believing that productivity means doing it all. But this approach leads to stress, burnout, and a sense of failure when we can't accomplish everything. The truth? Less is more. Take a moment to pause and identify what truly matters. What are the tasks that will make the biggest impact on your day, your goals, or your well-being? Focus on those and let the rest fall away. The secret to a productive and fulfilling day isn't about quantity, it's about quality. When you prioritize the essentials, you free your mind from the clutter of unnecessary demands. This creates space for clarity, focus, and meaningful progress. Each task you complete feels purposeful, not rushed. You'll end your day feeling accomplished, not exhausted. Remember, productivity isn't about being busy, it's about being effective. Choose your battles wisely and concentrate your energy where it matters most. By focusing on less, you achieve more with intention and grace. Simplify your day and watch your stress fade while your success grows. A life lived with focus is a life lived with power. Start your morning by giving your body what it craves: hydration and nourishment. After a long night of rest, your body is dehydrated, and a simple glass of water is like a wake-up call for your entire system. It kickstarts your metabolism, flushes out toxins, and energizes your cells, preparing you to tackle the day ahead. Follow this with a nutrient-packed breakfast to fuel both your body and mind. Think of breakfast as the foundation of your energy and focus. Choose foods that truly power you. Whole grains, fresh fruits, protein-rich eggs, or nuts provide sustained energy, keeping you sharp and ready for anything. Skip the sugar-loaded snacks and opt for real nutrition that lasts. This winning combo, hydration and nourishment, sets the tone for a productive day. It boosts your mental clarity, enhances your stamina, and elevates your mood. Neglecting these essentials leaves you feeling sluggish and unfocused, but starting strong gives you an unbeatable edge. Your morning choices define your day. A hydrated body is an energized body, and a nourished brain is a focused brain. Together, they create the ultimate recipe for success. Treat your mornings like a launch pad. Fuel up, hydrate, and set yourself up to conquer whatever comes your way. Close your eyes and see yourself owning the day ahead. Picture every moment, overcoming challenges, achieving your goals, and ending the day victorious. Feel the confidence, the calm, and the energy as if it's already happening. This simple mental rehearsal programs your mind for success and sharpens your focus. Visualize it, believe it, and step into your day ready to conquer. End your morning routine by affirming your core values: integrity, kindness, courage, or whatever guides your actions. This helps you stay true to yourself throughout the day. If this video benefit for you, then hit that like button and subscribe our channel. Make sure to turn your notification bell on so you don't miss the next one. Also, share with your friends. Thanks for watching this video.
How do you deal with disrespect? Disrespect is a common challenge that we all face in life, and it can be very upsetting and frustrating. But what if we could learn from the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, which teaches us how to handle difficult situations with wisdom and grace? In this video, we will explore 10 practical Stoic principles that can help us cope with disrespect in a better way. As usual, I challenge you to be strong and stay with me till the end of the video. Let's begin. 1. Keep your calm. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is that we are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by how we think about what happens to us. As Epictetus said, people are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of them. This means that disrespect is not inherently harmful or offensive. It is our interpretation and judgment of it that make us feel hurt or angry. When someone disrespects you, remember that their behavior is a result of their own thoughts, feelings, and opinions. 2. Reflect on yourself. Another important aspect of Stoicism is the practice of self-reflection and self-examination. The Stoics believed that the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our lives, and that we should always strive to improve ourselves and our actions. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." 3. Learn to pause. Seneca once said, "Whenever you are angry, be assured that it is not only a present evil, but that you have increased a habit." Stoics believe in the importance of self-control and rationality. They argue that impulsive reactions driven by intense emotions like anger or frustration often lead to poor decisions and unnecessary suffering. When faced with disrespect, the Stoic approach encourages you to avoid reacting impulsively. Instead, take a moment to pause and collect your thoughts. This pause allows you to regain control over your emotions and gives you the opportunity to respond in a more measured and thoughtful manner. 4. Have empathy. Epictetus, another influential Stoic philosopher, says, "Seek not the good in external things, seek it in yourselves." Stoics believe in the interconnectedness of humanity, and that understanding the motivations and emotions of others can lead to better interactions and personal growth. When someone shows disrespect, Stoicism suggests practicing empathy. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and understand their perspective. Empathy can help you see the situation from a different angle and realize that the person's disrespect may not be personal or intentional. It may be caused by their own insecurities, fears, or ignorance. 5. Concentrate on virtue. One of the main ideas of Stoicism is to develop virtues such as wisdom and courage. These are the qualities that help us live well and act rightly. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, wrote that virtue is nothing else than right reason. This means that being virtuous is the same as being rational and consistent with the natural order of things. Stoics believe that virtue is the highest good in life and that everything else is indifferent. When we face disrespect from others, Stoicism teaches us to focus on virtue in our response. This does not mean that we should ignore or tolerate the disrespect, but rather that we should respond in a way that reflects our Stoic values and principles. By focusing on virtue, we can avoid being influenced by our emotions, maintain our dignity and integrity, and grow as a person. Stoicism challenges us to be the best version of ourselves, even in difficult situations. 6. Embrace acceptance. One of the key lessons of Stoicism is to accept the things that are not in our control, such as the disrespect of others. Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This means that we should be grateful for what we have and not worry about what we lack. Stoicism also teaches us to distinguish between what is in our control and what is not, which is known as the Stoic dichotomy of control. We can only control our own thoughts, feelings, and actions, but not the external events or the behavior of others. Therefore, when we face disrespect, we should not let it affect our inner peace. Instead, we should accept it as a part of life and focus on what we can do to improve ourselves and our situation. By accepting disrespect with Stoicism, we can avoid unnecessary anger, frustration, and resentment. We can also learn from the experience and grow as a person. This helps us to deal with disrespect in a rational and calm way. 7. Use humor. Sometimes a little laughter goes a long way. As the ancient philosopher Seneca said, "You have mastered yourself when you know how to deal with what you should not take seriously." Stoicism teaches us to control our emotions and act rationally, but it also recognizes the value of humor in coping with challenging situations. Humor can help us keep our emotional balance and avoid getting too angry or annoyed when someone disrespects us. Instead of letting our emotions get the best of us, we can choose to respond with a witty remark or a playful joke. Of course, humor should not be used inappropriately or excessively, but it can be a useful Stoic technique to handle disrespect in a way that creates a more positive and peaceful outcome. 8. Set clear boundaries. Stoicism is not about being a doormat. It's about being a rock that stands firm in the face of disrespect and injustice, a rock that knows its worth and demands respect from others, a rock that controls what it can and lets go of what it can't. When someone disrespects you, you don't have to take it lying down. You don't have to lash out in anger either. You can be calm and assertive. You can tell them what they did wrong and how you expect them to treat you. You can set clear and reasonable boundaries that protect your dignity and self-respect. This is what Stoicism teaches us. It teaches us to be strong, just, and courageous. It teaches us to respect ourselves and others. It teaches us to maintain our inner control and our outer dignity in any situation. 9. Choose forgiveness. Imagine someone disrespects you. How do you react? Do you lash out in anger, or do you let it go? The ancient philosophy of Stoicism has some wisdom to offer. Stoics believe that forgiveness is not a favor to the other person, but a gift to yourself. Forgiveness is the key to inner peace and happiness, but forgiveness is not easy. It does not mean forgetting or approving what happened. It means choosing to release the negative emotions that are hurting you more than anyone else. Stoics say that we should forgive all, but not indiscriminately. We should forgive wisely, with compassion and justice. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. We can't control how others behave, but we can control how we respond. 10. Change your perspective. Perspective is the ability to see things from a broader and more objective point of view. It helps you to avoid overreacting or taking things personally when someone disrespects you. Instead, it helps you to realize that disrespect is not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. As the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." When you use perspective, you can see that most cases of disrespect are minor and temporary. They do not affect your true worth or happiness. You can also see that disrespect is often a reflection of the other person's ignorance, insecurity, or weakness, not yours. You can choose to ignore it, forgive it, or learn from it, rather than letting it bother you. Perspective also helps you to focus on what really matters in life: your goals, values, and virtues. You can use your energy and time to pursue what is good and meaningful for you, rather than wasting them on resentment or revenge. By doing so, you can live a more fulfilling and peaceful life. So, next time you face disrespect, remember to use perspective. It will help you to keep your cool and act wisely. Always remember that Stoicism is not about suppressing your emotions, but managing them well. By applying these 10 principles, you can stay calm and strong when you face disrespect and rude behavior. If you are new here, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more lessons on ancient wisdom. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in our next video. To watch more Stoic wisdom videos, select one of the videos that will appear on your screen now. Stay stoic.
Thing to do every morning is to reflect on what you're grateful for. It could be as simple as the roof over your head, the food in your kitchen, or the people in your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have, fostering contentment and resilience. Before diving into the noise of the day, take a few moments of silence. Whether through meditation, prayer, or simply sitting still, this practice grounds your mind and helps you approach the day calmly and with clarity. It might sound heavy, but reflecting on mortality, known in Stoicism as memento mori, or the practice of remembering that life is finite, is not about dwelling on fear or sadness. Instead, it's a powerful reminder of the precious and fleeting nature of time. When we recognize that each moment is irreplaceable, it inspires us to live with intention and clarity. When you start your day by reflecting on this, it sets the tone for mindful living. Ask yourself, if today were my last, how would I spend it? What would I focus on? This practice empowers you to seize the day, avoid distractions, and focus on what brings joy and fulfillment. Remember, acknowledging mortality isn't about sadness. It's about clarity, gratitude, and living with purpose. Use this awareness to fuel purpose and gratitude. Begin your morning by reflecting on what truly matters. Ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do today that will bring the most meaning to my life? This question helps cut through the noise and identify your true priorities. Once you have clarity, align your actions with your purpose and values. Focus your energy on what will move you closer to your goals, rather than scattering it across distractions. Remember, every action you take either builds your future or delays it. By starting with intention, you create a day filled with purpose and direction. Success begins with choosing what's meaningful over what's urgent. Start your day with the power of mindful breathing. Take a few slow, deep breaths, inhaling through your nose and exhaling gently through your mouth. Feel the fresh oxygen filling your lungs, invigorating your body and calming your mind. This simple practice not only awakens your senses, but also helps reduce stress and tension. With each breath, you're bringing clarity and focus to your thoughts. It's a natural way to reset and prepare yourself for the challenges ahead. Breathing deeply energizes your system, enhances concentration, and creates a sense of balance. It's a small habit with a big impact. Begin your day centered and ready to take on anything that comes your way. Supercharge your morning with movement that awakens your body and sharpens your mind. Whether it's stretching, yoga, or a quick workout, this powerful ritual energizes you from the inside out. Feel your muscles come alive as blood flows freely, fueling your brain and sparking focus. Let tension melt away, your flexibility improve, and your confidence rise with every move. A brisk session floods your body with feel-good endorphins, boosting your mood and igniting your energy. It's not just exercise, it's a reset for your entire system. Just 10 minutes of intentional movement can transform your day. Remember, a vibrant body fuels a vibrant mind. Get moving and own the day ahead. Spend a few quiet minutes reading something uplifting, whether it's a powerful passage from Marcus Aurelius' Meditations or a thought-provoking quote that sparks reflection. These words of wisdom act as a guide, offering clarity and insight to anchor your day. They challenge your thinking, ignite your curiosity, and connect you to timeless ideas that transcend daily distractions. Reading something profound in the morning helps you approach life with a broader perspective and a calmer, more focused mindset. It's like fuel for your inner fire, reminding you of your values and purpose. Just a few lines can plant seeds of growth and resilience in your mind. Make this a non-negotiable part of your routine and watch how it elevates your thoughts, decisions, and actions. Start your day inspired and carry that energy with you everywhere you go. Prepare yourself for the day by redefining how you see challenges. Instead of viewing obstacles as roadblocks, see them as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Every difficulty carries a hidden lesson waiting to be uncovered. This mindset shift transforms setbacks into stepping stones, turning frustration into fuel for progress. When you approach challenges with curiosity and determination, you build resilience and mental strength. Obstacles are not here to stop you. They're here to shape you. Each one is a chance to develop patience, adaptability, and perseverance. Remember, the greatest growth often comes from the toughest battles. Embrace the unexpected, learn from it, and rise above it. By shifting your perspective, you'll not only overcome challenges, you'll thrive because of them. The power to transform struggle into strength is already within you. Each obstacle is an opportunity to prove to yourself what you're capable of. Face the unexpected with courage, curiosity, and confidence. Learn from every struggle, adapt to every curveball, and keep moving forward. By mastering this mindset, you turn life's challenges into stepping stones for success. The power to transform struggle into strength is already within you. Use it. Start your day with intention, not overwhelm. Too often, we overload ourselves with endless to-do lists, believing that productivity means doing it all. But this approach leads to stress, burnout, and a sense of failure when we can't accomplish everything. The truth? Less is more. Take a moment to pause and identify what truly matters. What are the tasks that will make the biggest impact on your day, your goals, or your well-being? Focus on those and let the rest fall away. The secret to a productive and fulfilling day isn't about quantity, it's about quality. When you prioritize the essentials, you free your mind from the clutter of unnecessary demands. This creates space for clarity, focus, and meaningful progress. Each task you complete feels purposeful, not rushed. You'll end your day feeling accomplished, not exhausted. Remember, productivity isn't about being busy, it's about being effective. Choose your battles wisely and concentrate your energy where it matters most. By focusing on less, you achieve more with intention and grace. Simplify your day and watch your stress fade while your success grows. A life lived with focus is a life lived with power. Start your morning by giving your body what it craves: hydration and nourishment. After a long night of rest, your body is dehydrated, and a simple glass of water is like a wake-up call for your entire system. It kickstarts your metabolism, flushes out toxins, and energizes your cells, preparing you to tackle the day ahead. Follow this with a nutrient-packed breakfast to fuel both your body and mind. Think of breakfast as the foundation of your energy and focus. Choose foods that truly power you. Whole grains, fresh fruits, protein-rich eggs, or nuts provide sustained energy, keeping you sharp and ready for anything. Skip the sugar-loaded snacks and opt for real nutrition that lasts. This winning combo, hydration and nourishment, sets the tone for a productive day. It boosts your mental clarity, enhances your stamina, and elevates your mood. Neglecting these essentials leaves you feeling sluggish and unfocused, but starting strong gives you an unbeatable edge. Your morning choices define your day. A hydrated body is an energized body, and a nourished brain is a focused brain. Together, they create the ultimate recipe for success. Treat your mornings like a launch pad. Fuel up, hydrate, and set yourself up to conquer whatever comes your way. Close your eyes and see yourself owning the day ahead. Picture every moment, overcoming challenges, achieving your goals, and ending the day victorious. Feel the confidence, the calm, and the energy as if it's already happening. This simple mental rehearsal programs your mind for success and sharpens your focus. Visualize it, believe it, and step into your day ready to conquer. End your morning routine by affirming your core values: integrity, kindness, courage, or whatever guides your actions. This helps you stay true to yourself throughout the day. If this video benefit for you, then hit that like button and subscribe our channel. Make sure to turn your notification bell on so you don't miss the next one. Also, share with your friends. Thanks for watching this video.